So Danny, when I do this, does it elicit any emotions to you whatsoever? Am I good at it?
I get like a vague sense of I know what this is now.
Am I doing it correct? Wait, hold up. There's another move. There's
I think I know what's coming. Yeah, baby.
Yeah, you get it. Yeah, you get it.
Yes. All right, tell the audio only listeners what you just did.
Oh, just a little we'll call it boxing. It's like a hand dancing style where like you make a box and then you keep on switching your hands.
Yeah.
And the reason I'm doing it is because Danny decided to make me watch the fucking trauma simulator. That is Link Click.
Yes, I did. I love, so what Nick's referring to is the opening theme of Link Click.
Yes.
By the way, what'd you think of the song?
It's pretty good.
It's pretty good.
Also,
I like it.
I'm watching it in dub, so it's in English.
Right.
So I feel like I should watch it. And I'm going to rewatch it in sub with Dorothy because it's in Chinese. And she loves watching Chinese shit because she doesn't pay attention.
Right,
So
gotcha.
it's like watching shit in English for her. She can just scroll her phone.
Right, gotcha. But so in the opening sequence, they do, for like a minute and a half, this hand dance.
It's just all three of the main characters just fucking busting it down. And they're like, this is a show about children struggling with the loss of their parents in a fucking earthquake. And they're just like, yeah! No dancing in the entire show. And the first minute and a half of the opening is just like, oh, you like that shit?
Dude, they get crunk.
Oh, for sure, crunk.
They're popping and locking.
Yep.
I love the move Nick was talking about. There's a bit where like one of the characters like puts their fingers up, like they cup their hand and they blow on their pinky and then all their fingers go down like dominoes.
It's literally like the JJK ending from season 1, but if it was like way less jiggy and made like way more like B-boy.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh, hey, whoa. But like the song is incredible.
It's definitely the tone of You Are My Special in terms of like an episode will open and it's like, we gotta save his mom. You can't mess with the timeline.
Yeah.
And it's like, you are my special.
Fucking boxing. Look at these fucking mad moves.
It's so funny.
Yeah, fuck that show though.
Yeah? Didn't care for it?
No, not a big fan. If you guys are ever, let's just say in a fragile mental state, Link Click is pretty much the worst thing you could watch. If you have any familial trauma whatsoever, the worst thing you could watch. I've been in fucking shambles for like 3 days. I'm 8 episodes in.
I told you it's relentless. I came over.
Why do they keep doing it?
I know. I hate Lou is the white-haired one,
Yeah.
and then Shang's the black-haired one. I love Lou just putting Chang through constant actual mental torture.
We were like, like episode 1 is they're like, oh, we gotta get the secret notes here, and he's like a little assistant, and it's like, oh, like first off, the first episode is just like he jumps into an assistant's body right before Lou buries the lead that she's about to be sexually assaulted. He's like, we gotta get it on this photo right here, and Shang's like, okay, let's get the numbers, and then it's like you're getting groped, and he's like, go with it.
Yeah. Chang's just like, what's going on? And he's like, relax, honey, you'll like it.
And then he's like, go with it. And Shang's about to put out. Like, Shang's about to fucking put out. And he gets saved, fortunately. I was like, Shang was about to feel what being penetrated felt like. He was about to learn an age-old mystery.
Yeah, and that's, like, not the worst thing Chang goes through as another person.
And then, obviously, so
what's it about?
The reoccurring theme of the entire show is that, they don't really explain it, but, like, there's a woman, they're all the same age. They're like 20 or something, 21. And this girl's like, she owns a building or like the photo shop that they work in. She's like, you have a debt to me. So you have to work for all these clients and then eventually you'll pay off your debt. It's basically the plot of Animal Crossing, except she's Tom Nook and they're a team of super powered time traveling photo based magicians. So there's Lou is a white haired one, a white haired kid, and then Shang is the black haired kid. They're super gay for each other, and Lou has the ability to peer into photos, like 12 hours around a photo, and for some reason. Like apparently he's like not great at it. Yeah. Like he can like see like kind of what's gonna happen, and he knows like the timeline of those 12 hours. So if he high fives somebody, he can tap them in to be the person who took the photo.
Yeah, it's an actual high five based power system.
Which is actually like more or less the plot of Tokyo Revengers.
Right.
So it's like And then they basically get sent back in time to get information. So not to change the past that's happened up until this moment, but they change the future.
Right, past, like, after that past.
Which is a really silly line to draw. Because they're like, we can't change the past.
Yeah.
We don't know what'll happen. It's like, motherfucker, you're changing the future.
Well, it's interesting. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
It's interesting because, like, I love the earthquake bit because...
All right, first off, the earthquake bit is not how you describe the earthquake bit. There is Shang loses both of his fucking parents in the shit. There was an 8.0 magnitude earthquake in China in Sichuan, which is like the northeastern or northwestern part of China.
Like 2008.
Yeah, like an entire mountain slides, like it kills thousands of people. It was like absolutely brutal. He loses both of his parents in that. Fucking Lou is like, hey man, we got to go back in time. We got to shave this dead off. And Chang's like, all right, let's do it. And it's the one time that Lou's like, hey, you can change the past. You can tell all these people the feelings of the person whose body you're currently inhabiting. And he's like, wow, I'm finally getting to do it because... Spoiler report, Shang always wants to change the fucking past because he keeps getting put into incredibly traumatic situations where he's like, if I change this, things could be better. Yeah. And then everyone's like, oh, well, the mom that like of the boy whose like body he's in, I hate how I said that.
So for further clarification, because you are on a rampage, it's Shang possesses people in the past. So if you come to me and you have a photo of yourself in the past and you're like, hey, I fucked up. Can you, like, go back and, like, tell this person I love them before they die in an earthquake, for example? I take the photo, I go into the past, and I possess your body. And then I have to, like, play out what happened in the past to not fuck it up so much.
Yeah. But, like, there's, like, a little bit of wiggle room, like, as long as the big things happen.
Yeah.
So, like, as long as, like, you lose the game, or you get sexually assaulted, or, or fucking kidnapped, what you do between the big moments doesn't matter all that much.
Yeah.
So, Shang goes back to May 12th, 2008, and he's like, why are we changing all this? And then he finds out what day it is, and he's like, oh, the day my fucking parents died? And Lou's like, whoopsie! Oh no, you have to relive your worst childhood trauma? Good thing we saved $500 on our debt, and he has to live. He has to live through the person he's living in, mother dying on top of him, and singing him like a good night song.
Yeah, he experiences another man's mother die.
Yeah.
Like, pinned on top of him by the rubble of their house.
And she's like, I'll always be here to protect you. And he's like, just sobbing.
Yeah, Chang's like, Lou, get me out of here.
He's like, I can't get my hands together to clap all the rubble. So yeah,
it's so intense.
It's really good.
It's so good. It's so shockingly good.
It's a borderline masterpiece.
Yeah, it's really
very like it is devastatingly sad.
Well, because even that, like, I told you every episode like has a twist.
Yeah.
And the earthquake episode is so good because you're right. He's like going around changing all this shit, like apologizing to people in the past, doing this. And you're like, I thought we couldn't change stuff in the past. Like, why all the wiggle room now?
Yeah.
And the twist is that they're all going to die in this earthquake.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter. And it's like, I also like that Lou is like, or Chang's like, I'm going to change the past. Fuck you. And then Lou's like, all right, go change the past.
Oh, you got it. And then it's like, just kidding. Trauma's on the way.
Yeah, it's like, psych, time doesn't change for anyone.
Yeah, he's like, he wins a basketball game and Lou's like, oh, wait, there's more notes. We're still good.
Yeah.
He finds the note that everyone fucking dies.
Yeah, just like under the couch. And he's like, oh, wait, here's that last note. You know, just keep living your life.
Hit the three.
Out.
You know, just hit the three. You'll be all right.
True. I love that, like, the basketball game, like, the only reason that node changes is because Chang refuses to be worse at basketball.
Yeah, then like these like random scrubs playing in a dilapidated like arena. Yeah.
He also has like a Rock Lee moment where he's wearing these glasses the whole game and he's like, fuck, I can hardly see.
Yeah.
And he's still sick at basketball.
Yeah.
And then someone knocks the glasses off of his head and I'm like, oh shit, if you thought he was good before, now he has vision.
Now who's playing on expert mode. You just switched him to rookie. So, yeah, no. Do you want to hear all the times I cried?
Yeah.
So I cried when the two ladies re-met at their hometown.
The noodle shop
The noodle
one?
shop episode made me cry.
That I just want to bring up, it's so funny because episode 1, like you said, real intense because he's like Chang is possessing this girl who gets groped by her boss.
Yeah.
Episode 2.
And then gets murdered, by the way. Yeah. Which
great twist.
Ridiculous.
Love that shit. And then episode 2, whoa, we gotta get the noodle recipe.
She making the sauce so good.
She making that spicy pasta. We gotta get the recipe.
We gotta get her seeking the noodles up.
Yeah. Episode 3, everyone dies in an earthquake. Yeah. Episode 4, a child's abducted.
Yeah, and it's like, please, I need to slow down. And so I cried when they got back together. I cried, when his mom dies on top of him. And then I cried at the 5.5 episode, which was literally just them trying to be like, oh yeah, this is why Shang knows how to do the fucking like the Ryu like
the Shoryuken.
Yeah, like the Shoryuken spiraling uppercut.
Yeah.
Because there's a filler episode that I guess isn't from the manga where it's like there's like this guy who's in love with this woman who is the child of a martial arts studio, and her father is like, fucking not if you can't get through me. Like,
for like 60 years.
Like literally like,
put him up, old man. This old dude's like shambling up these steps.
Yeah, they like live on top of this dojo on top of a mountain that takes 2 hours to climb. And it's like, he's like, you gotta climb those stairs, and then you have to beat me in a fight to marry my daughter. So he goes every year for like literally 50 years. And then he just loses. And then eventually the father's like, you have my blessing. And I just fucking openly bawled. And so, I'm gonna finish it in like 3 days. I love it so goddamn much. It's one of my favorite things I've watched this year.
Wow.
It's very good.
It's great. It's all in the end. You have to tell me when you get to the season finale, because season 2 came out this year, actually. And apparently it's way, way crazier.
Really?
Everyone keeps telling me that season 2 is like...
Chang's just like fucking shell-shocked. He's like, please don't slap my hand. Please don't slap my hand.
Well, it's like...
Yeah. It's just every time someone tries to give him a high five,
Lou's just coming in like a windmill motion, like, get your ass over here. If it's not your hand, it's those cheeks. But like...
Give me.
Well, I love too, after the earthquake bit, they're like... kind of friends.
Yeah.
Like, I love that Chang's like pissed about it.
Yeah.
It's like, it's
which like
fair, like so
understandable.
Fair. Yeah, like I love that. But like, you have to let me know when you get to the season finale, because it has genuinely one of the coolest anime fights.
Really?
Of all time.
I was gonna say the animation is oddly good because like the basketball scene, I was like, this looks like Slam Dunk.
Yeah.
I was like, this
really
like he was like crossing people up, like people were getting like crossed out of their shoes. He dunks from the free throw line. Like there's like 4 people on earth who can do that. If the dude who was the head of the newspaper team just comes off the bench and dunks from the free throw line, like how is no one suspicious?
I just love that Lou's like, you're gonna have to play better, and Chang's like, these guys are gonna have to play or fucking he's like, you have to play worse, and he's like, they gotta play better.
And then he just like keeps trying to fuck up, and the ball just keeps going where he needs to. It's very good. If you haven't seen Link Click, please go watch it.
It's Donghua. It's a Chinese anime.
Yeah. So the original is in Chinese. I'm watching the dub, which is it's fine.
It's not bad.
It's fine.
I like it. Yeah,
it's okay. The first episode was like kind of weak dub wise, and then it got good again. Kind of crazy. Couple weeks for homework though.
Yeah.
Because you just finished Madoka Magica.
I mean, it's been crazy because we started this podcast talking about anime.
Yeah.
That's how stuffed
we are. Much
are.
we have to talk about.
Yeah.
There was no like Nick got blackout at IHOP for New Year's talk.
Yeah, there was no like, I pooped this week. Oh, let's do 30 minutes on that.
What was the texture like? Was it fluffy? Was it thin? Because I have the thin ones occasionally.
Don't describe shit as fluffy.
It happens occasionally, man. You know, sometimes, beer poops.
Oh my God. Yeah. We have a lot to talk about. I finished Madoka Magica.
Mm-hmm.
Like, unironically, and it could be recency bias. I promise it's not. One of the best shows I've ever watched.
It's so good.
Really, really good.
I'm about to spoil something. All right, cool. It's dark. The twist is incredible.
Yeah.
The payoff is awesome. QB being the bad guy at the end and all of them like teaming up trying to kill QB. Fantastic.
Spoilers for Madoka Magica.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're right.
I'm just saying.
It's a 10-year-old anime, but yeah, that's right.
I haven't seen.
Okay, wait, hold up. We'll do that. We'll do the thing. I'm about to spoil something. All right, cool.
Why are you like against having fans?
No. It'll be no. So we're gonna put that back.
Got you.
We're gonna
okay,
edit that
Stank.
back
edit
in
that.
front of the Madoka Magica thing.
Gotcha. Cool. Yeah. Full spoilers. Madoka turning into like the god of time, and just like not even like a god who can like show up every now and then, like just essence, like essentially dying and never having been born. Way more of a hardcore ending than I was expecting this show to have.
A magical, because it's like, it's such a like exponential slope where it's like, oh, they're getting their wishes. Oh, the blonde one's dead. Oh, she's been going back in time the entire time. Oh, she's gone? Is that the Holocaust?
I love, that's what's so funny is at the end, it's like Madoka's going through time and like erasing all of the magical girls throughout time.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, that's fun. Look, it's the Viking magical girl. It's the Egyptian magical girl. It's the Iraqi magical girl. It's the Holocaust magical girl. What?
I feel like we should be redirecting the magic of the time period away from the witches and towards the survivors.
There's like a magical girl with like the gold star.
Yeah, and it's like, what was your wish? Oh, not to end the Third Reich?
Like why is this war still happening, you selfish bitch?
Yeah, she was like, I don't know, bread would be cool. And you're like, fucking wish for Hitler's death. Like, what?
Well, that's what's funny is like, God, I love, the best part about the show is QB being so manipulative.
Yeah.
He's so good at being manipulative to a point where at one point Madoka is like, can I just wish to be a magical girl? Like he has tricked them into thinking that like the wish is the lame part.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Whereas every other magical girl is being like, like one wish for anything isn't worth it.
Yeah.
Like it's not enough. And Madoka's like, man, can I just like, I'll just get a big cake.
Yeah.
What if I just got a big cake?
Yeah.
And QB's like, I can't say no to the big cake.
Like, actually, yeah, I've already got one. Yeah.
Yeah. And also there's like a scene where he's like, she's like, how can you be so heartless about this? And he's like, my species doesn't experience emotion.
Yeah.
I just talk like this.
Yeah.
And it's like,
I am built to get you into this situation.
I just love that he's like, this isn't an optimistic tone. It's just my voice.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like literally just like who he is.
Yeah.
Oh, the ending is so good. It's like borderline Evangelion level where you're like, oh my God, all the pieces are connecting. Because in the beginning, you see the girl who ends up as the time girl. I'm spacing her name.
Homura.
Yeah, Homura, like she's chasing QB and QB like runs to Madoka and everyone's like, oh, Homer, you psychopath. And it's like, little do you know, Homer has been through this timeline 1,400 times.
Yeah.
Like she's like her game planning all of like the missiles to release at the the Oz, what is it?
It's like Whamper Snatched or whatever.
Like the Whamper Snock and whatever.
Yeah.
It's like she's like coordinating this huge, massive battle against him. And the animation goes so ridiculously hard for no reason.
The whole show's animation goes crazy.
Yeah.
It's like there's like a few moments that I had to like rewind to
Walpurgis
rewatch.
knocked.
Yeah, Walpurgis knocked.
There we go. How do I remember that and not Homura?
Yeah, Mark Walpurgis knocked.
Yeah, that's him. Yep.
But there's a few moments that like I had to rewind, and like that bit I told you about last week where like mommy just has like 7 muskets around,
like a
and
ring
she's just
of muskets.
spinning them.
Yep.
Yeah. God, it's so awesome. We have to watch the movie because you haven't seen the movie.
Yeah.
So
I think there's a couple.
There's 2 that are just like condensed versions of the show.
Gotcha.
So those aren't worth watching. Then there's a sequel movie. And then there's a movie coming out this year in 2024. Welcome to 2024, everybody.
Which we'll talk about in a second.
Called Rise of Walpurgis Knocked.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I can't even imagine what it's going to look like in 2024.
I know.
The animation is going to be like, this was 2013 and they were kicking down doors.
Yeah.
It was sick.
I'm so excited. It's like one of the best things I've ever seen in my life. I'm so happy you made me watch it.
I can't believe it took me this. I can't believe I chose SAO before I chose Madoka Magica. It took a second. It took a second for me to hone in.
Madoka's a funny one because it also has that like out of place theme song issue where they're just like Sayaka. There's one scene where it's like an alternate timeline where like they like something happens, like they find out that like being a magical girl sucks. They find out that they're all just puppets.
Yeah, when mommy gets decapitated, you're like, oh, okay, yeah, never mind.
But like in an alternate timeline, they like one of them just like with her musket like shoots one of their little like soul seeds, kills her. Another girl like Madoka has to like kill her. Like they all kill each other in this timeline. And then it just goes to this like happy little J-pop like.
Because they have to remind you, it's still a magical girl show.
It's so good. I love it so much.
Okay, we'll watch the movie together and we'll do a reaction. Maybe that'll be like a Patreon episode or something.
Speaking of Hitler, unless you want to do a transition.
Please.
Speaking of Hitler, Nick,
Okay.
I watched the first 4 episodes of Percy Jackson.
I thought you were going to say you watched the first episodes of, what is it? Something Terrible.
Tanya.
Tanya the Terrible. And I was like, if you're making a Hitler comparison, that's the one. That little sociopathic anime Hitler that everyone's like, I don't know, she's kind of cute.
I know, yeah, that scamp.
Yeah.
That little Hitler-y scamp.
Yeah.
I watched Percy Jackson. You watched the first 2 episodes.
It's so bad. It's so. Listen, I understand that I'm not the demographic for Percy Jackson. I understand that.
Yeah.
I never watched the movies. I never read the books.
Yeah.
It's just so. It was so silly. Like, I don't like, it's meant for children, you know?
Yeah.
Like, so like obviously like my opinion on this is invalid.
Right.
Like genuinely, I don't think like as somebody who A, hasn't finished the story, B, has no connection to the story, and C, isn't the demo, me talking about Percy Jackson means a grand total of fuck all.
Right.
But there is some moments I found very fucking funny.
It's hilarious.
It's really funny, like, but not for the right reasons.
Yeah.
Like them running around in their little Spartan armor.
Yeah.
And the love interest, like her having her braids come out of her having her braids come out of the Spartan armor just looked so funny to me. I was like, it's just like, it's so like, you just would never expect to see like a ton of braids coming out of a Spartan helmet. And I was like, okay, that's silly. And they're just little. And it was just like,
they're very small.
and
everybody.
Everything was like the CG and the practical effects were really good. Chiron looked really cool.
Yeah.
Well,
hold on, because there's a part where Chiron, like, when he first shows up as his horse and his, like, arms aren't swinging because, like, how does a centaur walk?
Yeah.
And it's just, like, a man floating on top of a horse. Bobbing on top of a horse body. And I'm like, oh, hi, Chiron.
Yeah,
Like,
there he is.
but no, the minute, so... I also found it very funny. I read the books. I read 3.5 books.
Okay.
So half of
How many
the 4.
books?
Like fucking 1,000 now.
There's like 1,000?
There's so many. They have
Ridiculous.
one for every pantheon now.
Really?
Like they have an Egypt one, a Norse one, a like Aztec one.
The well that never dries up, apparently. And he's just like Poseidon's son going through all of them.
I think like they have different
Or they're
characters.
like, oh, you also fucked Poseidon while he was fucking your mother. Like,
I think it's become a Boruto thing where now he's just like a mentor like figure.
Gotcha.
Where he's like 30 probably.
Okay.
But like, so I read like 4.5 or 3.5 books. And it's still really, really funny. So like it's not a good show.
No.
But I'm having fun watching it.
Yeah.
I wanted to talk about, you brought up the Minotaur. Like weirdly hype fight, right? When he fights the Minotaur at the end of the first episode, he's like on its back and he rips its horn off and stabs it in the fucking eye.
Well, I was like, why did the mom evaporate? And then they explained that Hades grabbed her. And I was like, he just like, it was so funny because he just like watched his mom just fade. And he was just
didn't ask anything.
And I was like, fucking react. What are we doing? He was just like, Mom.
Yeah. He didn't ask a damn question.
No.
And then he's like, you know what? I'm killing this thing.
Yeah, he was like, go get him, chief.
Yeah, it's so funny. And then I can't, speaking of not asking things, I segued into this by talking about Hitler. You have no questions about that?
I mean, considering the fact that you say I bring up Hitler too often on this podcast, I'm willing to let you have it.
Well, Nick, I'm glad you asked about Hitler.
Lovely. Get into it.
Because apparently, actually factually, Hitler is a demigod.
Loves Percy Jackson. Oh, no, okay. He's just like, I need my books.
Yeah.
I only read at a 4th grade level.
Hitler in the Percy Jackson universe is a demigod. If you tell me he's not, you're wrong, because Rick Riordan lied. Here's where I'm getting at. So, here's the context, right? It is assumed that Hades or Pluto's children were Adolf Hitler and or Benito Mussolini, because Hazel, a character in the books, remarks how much Pluto looks like Hitler upon their first meeting. So, also in the Percy Jackson world, like, the reason the big 3, which is Hades, Poseidon, Zeus, stopped having children is because they were causing too much wars, including World War II. So it's implied that one of Hades' children, Pluto, is Hitler's, like, descendant. Now, you might be thinking, why on earth would that be the case? Why on earth would that be a fun little tidbit in a children's book series?
Yeah.
The author, Rick Riordan, also thought that, and has since in press junkets been like, what are you talking about? Hitler's not a demigod. What do you mean?
It's a silly little concept, and everyone's like, yeah, so like Hitler like exists in the pantheon? Like what happens here?
But that was definitely the intention in the book, and then he's like, I shouldn't do that.
Yeah, he was like, yeah, maybe like deifying the worst man in history isn't like our best course of action.
It's also funny to think that like, because like it's still canon that the children like of the big three were involved in World War II.
Okay.
And it's funny to think that like,
it's like, oh, General Patton was like Zeus's son. Like, what's happening here?
Yeah, it's funny to think that like one of one of like Hades' children would be like, yeah, like we gotta conquer the world in my father's name.
Yeah.
Also, you guys been hearing about these Jew folks?
Yudin? Like, what's going on here? It's like, I'm seeing a lot of...
It's like, just coincidentally, he also just hates Jews.
I was gonna, like, they don't believe in the Greek pantheon.
I thought that, but then neither does any religion.
Yeah, like that's, he's like, but you guys you're doing it the worst, honestly.
I was like, that's almost clever. But then I was like, where are the Christians at?
Yeah, it was like, he was Christian. It was like, so it was like, I don't know, is Jesus Zeus here? Like, but like, he wouldn't be stoked on that either.
I just thought that was so funny.
Yeah.
But it's a funny show. There's a part where like, I think you got to this when like Percy is like going on his quest. Did you get to that?
Oh, like just barely. Like he just like opened up Poseidon's house and he was like, I'm the forbidden child or something.
Got you. Did you? So like there were parts that like when reading the books as a child, I was like, this is dumb and I wish it wasn't in the book.
Yeah.
That have made its way to the show.
Gotcha.
One of those is the Minotaur wearing underwear.
Which, like, I get that we're not trying to show its cock, but, like, just do what
Just don't
everybody
give
else
it a
does.
cock.
Just don't give it a cock. Like, you didn't give Chiron a cock.
If
like,
you-
Chiron's a mailed horse.
If you give it underwear,
Yeah.
you are now implying it has a
The
cock
presence
to
of
hide.
penis. Yeah, like, that's the thing.
You have implied more cock than if you gave it no
If,
underwear.
like, every Minotaur in existence hasn't had a penis. Just don't add it.
The other thing that's dumb is when Poseidon claims Percy, there's a big trident over his head.
It looked like that was so stupid. He was like, oh, it was your dad's calling. And I was like, this looks like a fucking quest indicator.
It's so funny. It does, yeah.
I was like, what is this, like, special event quest?
I remember reading that as a kid, and I was like, what is this? Like, there's so many...
Does he take the Poseidon? Like, he doesn't take the
No,
trident.
he doesn't get a trident.
It's just like, oh, that's your dad.
Yeah, it's a hologram.
You've just been sorted into the house Poseidon?
Yeah,
like, what's going on here?
But it's funny, too, because, like, I think we can draw this into, like, manga and anime and stuff, because I've noticed there is such an aggressive movement of, like, well, this happened in the books, that means it's good, going on TikTok. Like, I made a video today about how, like, in the second episode, Percy, like, takes down 3 children of Ares.
Gotcha.
He also takes down the Minotaur, which I forgive because it's like, you know, he kind of just fumbled his way into killing the Minotaur until he ripped its fucking horn off.
Out and stabbed it. Yeah, it's less than fumbling, I'd say.
But it's like, so that one's like, all right, whatever, he's scrappy. But then he, like, takes down 3 children of Ares.
Yeah.
Like it's nothing.
Yeah,
And
he, like, snaps one of their spears. It was the whole thing,
Like, and even, like, a trained Marine would have, like, almost no chance of taking on 3 trained Marines. Like, one-on-one. But, like, these children of Ares, like, they're the children of the god of war. So they should have,
they've
like...
been there for a while.
Yeah, and they've been training. So they should have, like, a huge combat buff, despite Percy being, like, Poseidon's son. So I was like, hey, they should make Percy bad at fighting and have Annabeth train him. Because they established that Annabeth is, like, good at fighting.
Gotcha.
They don't show it. They just tell you that, which is an issue with the show.
Okay.
But, like, they established that Annabeth is really good at fighting. And so to, like, give her some more value on the quest, have her train him how to fight, because he's literally never fought before. And all the comments are like, well, in the book, he's this, and the book says that he trained with Luke beforehand. And
I mean, he, like, did kind of train with Luke, but the entire thing was just him being bad at everything.
Yeah, that's not training. He, like, checked out
tried.
the clubs.
Yeah, he like shot an arrow, and he's like, well, fuck, I didn't get it, you know? You know, it's fine.
He sucked with Luke for, like, an hour, but, like, all the comments are like, well, in the books, blah, blah, blah. And, like, I want to ask you how you feel about, like, that kind of argument, because it's, like, so weird to me that once an adaptation gets made, everything in the book becomes, like, concrete, like, turns to stone, where it's like, if it happened in the book, it is good. And if it's changed in the show, that is
it's
bad.
Inherently bad. I think it's a really funny line to walk because I think JJK recently has been like the number one thing of like, we're switching it up from the manga at least a little bit. Like, obviously there's been moments where people have been like, please don't animate the meme scene. And then they did. And then everyone was like, okay, well, that happened. But like the fights themselves are like, all right, we're going to fill the middle spaces between these panels with things that didn't happen in the manga. And everyone's like, oh, that was sick. But then like the other spectrum of that is like filler, right? It's like, okay, this didn't happen in the manga, so it's not good. But like, I think it's really a case-by-case thing because, like, if you look at Naruto, which is wrought with filler, if you look at some of the filler arcs, like Naruto trying to kiss an ostrich, like, sure, there's, like, a cult following and people being like, oh, that's funny. Ninja ostrich, good job. Like,
Excalibur.
Yeah, like Excalibur, like, those kinds of things. Like, that's funny. But, like, there's genuine, like, filler arcs in Naruto. Like, Kakashi's time in the Anbu is almost entirely filler. And especially his time in the Root. That is 100% filler. But because it doesn't contradict anything from the source material, I treat it like it's canon, but that's not the general consensus. The second everyone's like, oh, it's not in the book, didn't happen. I was like, fucking, it's in the show. It's like,
how do you feel about, like, the opposite where it's like, if you, because the big thing I see is that if someone criticizes something like in a show or in a movie, the defense is that it happened in the book.
Yeah.
So like
it was still stupid there.
Well, exactly. Yeah. So like, do you feel that way with like, if someone's like, oh, the meme scene in the anime is stupid, like, is your initial response to be like, well, it's in the manga, they had to do it, or are you like change bad shit from the manga? I know there's an argument about the meme thing, but
no. So I think well, actually, no. I think the best example of that would be The Last of Us, because The Last of Us changed things from the story to like increase the actual like the emotional payoff of certain characters that were kind of like nobody characters in the video game, which is the source material. So it's like, if you want to change things, change them the right way. But like, just because something happened in the book or the source material or the manga or the video game doesn't mean it's the right thing.
Yeah, exactly.
It doesn't mean like, oh, like, yeah, like, well, Meme had to like fall asleep naked with her brother in the manga, so we had to see the anime. Fucking no, we didn't. Like, we absolutely didn't have to. And so it's like, oh yeah, like he beats 3 children of Ares and like he barely trains. And it's like, I get it, it's the child of prophecy. But like, yeah, if you're trying to like, if we're obviously trying to do like a more inclusive thing, because they're very obviously trying to do a more inclusive thing with Percy Jackson, like, fuck yeah, have her train him. Who gives a shit?
Yeah.
Like, I fucking, we're changing all the characters. We're changing how they interact with the world, because from what I've heard, Grover is very different in not only the movies, but the book. And so it's like, if we're changing how the characters are interacting with the world, fucking have Annabeth train him. Who gives a shit?
Yeah.
It's like, this can be its own adaptation. It can like follow the source material as accurately as like genuinely you want to. But if we're trying to like really not do a one-to-one telling of the story and like adjust it to the 21st century, like, then fucking have Annabeth train him. Who cares?
Yeah. It's funny.
It's wild.
Yeah. But silly show, fun enough.
It's so incredibly fine.
It's very...
You can tell they put money into it.
Yeah, the CGI is good. It's like the pacing's whack.
I have a thing.
Yeah?
I have a thing.
What?
Can you call me?
Yeah, hi, Nick. Yeah,
okay.
you.
Is it weird I want them to be older? Because here's the thing. I get that they're like 12 in the book.
Yeah.
I don't, it's weird. Like, watching them be 12 is weird.
I'm so usually in that camp because I hate watching children fight.
Yeah.
I will say that, like, in his fight against those 3 Ares kids, he kind of sold me.
Yeah.
Because he, like, this kid, like, is good at fighting for some reason. Like, the actor. But I agree, like...
Listen, I don't want it to be Riverdale or, like, Pretty Little Liars, where it's, like, 25-year-olds playing 17-year-olds.
Right.
But, like... You can get like a 16-year-old to play a 12-year-old, right? Like, I think that's what they did with the original Percy Jacksons. It's like, I just want them to be like a little older.
People hated that.
Really?
People didn't like that. And I think it's because, like, Sarah was telling me, and this kind of like puts it in perspective. I also prefer when they're older, just because, like, yeah, it's
because
always,
they're better actors,
they're better actors typically, and also it's like I don't buy that like 11-year-old Aang is gonna beat up 36-year-old Ozai.
Yeah,
like,
and that's like kind of the thing with the new Avatar adaptation. It's like he looks like a baby.
Yeah, he looks like a child.
Which I guess is like kind of the thing. It's like he's supposed to be this innocent little like the world is thrust upon him and all of like the he has to like dismantle the Fire Nation. And he's fucking 12, so like that's not easy. But like. A 12 is so young.
It's hard,
so young.
It's hard to buy not animated.
Yeah.
But like Sarah put it in perspective where it's like the reason it didn't work in the Percy Jackson movies is because like you have dialogue that works for 12-year-olds because 12-year-olds are like significantly dumber than 16-year-olds. that when 16-year-olds say it, they just come off as dumb.
It's like adapting anime to the real world, and you're like, I get that you're trying to look like Ed from
Full Metal?
No, Cowboy Bebop.
Oh, right.
Like, I get that you're trying to do like a one-to-one impersonation of Ed, but like Ed is so anime-ism to one-to-one adopt it as a human just makes you look weird.
Yeah. So it's like, I do get keeping them the age, and then also since there are 1,000 books, it's kind of like a growing pain thing where like if you want to have 11 seasons of this show, they can't start as 20.
Yeah. Which is like very much the issue with the One Piece live action.
I was just going to say, we talked about that with One Piece.
Yeah, because it's like Emily Rudd is 30 and she's playing the 17-year-old Nami. And it's like, I get it. She looks just like her and she did a fantastic job. But it's like,
10 years, she's going to be 40.
She's going to be 40. And it's like, by the time we get to Marineford, she's going to be like, like 65.
Yeah,
you know?
She's going to throw her hip out every time she uses the
like her weather rod.
Staff,
And so it's just like, it's such an uphill battle of like, what is the age we cast? Because it's like, with One Piece, it's an impossible task. It genuinely is an impossible task to cast somebody, unless you like, literally, you're like, chain them to their like filming studio or whatever it is. And you're like, we film until we hit one. And then like, you could get it done feasibly in 10 years.
Well, yeah, but then by like season 3, their eyes are going to be sunken and their cheeks are going to be like...
Yeah, just going to be cake. They're wearing masks of the things they used to be. They just have prosthetics over their faces.
Husks now.
They're doing Mission Impossible rips at the end of every season. They're like, and just like sunken eyes like the Mappa CEO.
Yeah, they're just like, please give me a rice cracker. And they're like, you got to stay thin, sweetie.
You got to keep that 19 waistline. Just like, I can see my ribs.
No, I think One Piece, like, cast well. They're just fighting against the fact that there's a trillion seasons.
I think, I was going to say, but like with the wit reanimation of One Piece, like One Piece is only going to be 400 episodes long.
Yeah.
Like it's so like, well, obviously
only
there's still a fuck ton of episodes for sure. It makes it still one of the longest like anime of all time. But like you up the pacing, the live action could be 250 episodes. That's only like what 25 times more than they have right now.
That's only like a soap opera.
Yeah, literally.
Here's the thing. I wanted to connecting One Piece with Percy Jackson. I like had a very boomer thought the other day. And
I almost made a it's like make Annabeth white again.
Not really speaking of that, but in Percy Jackson, there's a bit where he's like choosing his friends. You didn't get to this.
No.
Because if you did, you would have texted me.
He's choosing his friends? He's like, good guy, bad guy?
He's like, not my friend.
Yeah.
Friend. No, he's like about to go on his quest.
Gotcha.
And like Chiron is like, I've assembled our greatest prospects to like aid you on your quest. Choose two.
Why does he get so many fucking resources? There's like 300 kids there, and Chiron's like, you're my favorite. It's like, I just got here. Chiron left camp to be his fucking teacher.
It's because he's Poseidon's fucking kid. He's Poseidon's only kid.
I guess.
That's literally the only reason.
Okay.
He's literally like the prophecy.
He also got the most bitch ass out of the big three.
Disagree. I love Poseidon.
Well, like in Hades and Zeus, way cooler than Poseidon. Poseidon's just Aquaman.
I guess that's true.
Oh, I got my fish and I got my... Zeus is throwing fucking thunderbolts and Hades is the king of hell.
Yeah. It's funny because it's like, everyone is like, well, Percy gets like a ×10 stat buff when near water. And it's like, okay, have fun on that cross-country road trip through Middle America,
like
kid.
Keep a bottle of water on you, Katara. What are we doing here?
But it's so Chiron assembles this like group of like 12 prospects to be like, these are our most promising students at the camp to aid you. Choose 2 to join you on your quest. And one of them is like in a wheelchair, and I'm like, this is one of the most. This is one of them. Like, what do you... And I get that it'd probably be... Like, if he chose her, it'd be like, oh, I have, like, I don't know, a magic wheelchair that does something crazy. But it is a funny visual. Yeah,
just like,
it's like, wow. It's like, I get we're doing inclusivity, but, like, this is...
The staircase arc is not going to hit. This is... Thank God. Olympus is ADA compliant, so...
But, like, no, my boomer thought was that, like, between Percy Jackson, which is like cooking through this book, like the pacing is so fast. We spend like, it feels like no time in Camp Half-Blood.
There was like one episode where he beats the children of Ares, and then he's like, it's time to leave.
Yeah,
and I'm like, What?
Yeah, you're like in and out of the camp like it's nothing. It's like, it feels like it's flying. Then we have One Piece, which is like flying through arcs. And I get like, you have to, but it's like, we are doing like an arc an episode borderline with like Barati being like 1 to 2 episodes, like Arlong being 1 to 2. And it got me thinking like, man, shit is like we're just condensing the hell out of like past shit.
They really are. But at the same time, what the One Piece live action did so well is that they didn't really lose any of the emotion of those arcs. Like the importance of those arcs is still conveyed. You still understand that Nami is like in like Orange Town or in like a terrible situation because of Arlong and him. Like and they did that in 2 episodes. You know, they did that in an hour and a half of content. So what? Like 6-7 episodes of anime. Like so like they managed to condense it in a way that still conveyed the seriousness of everything, which is like why I think they did such an incredible job. And I think that's the most important thing. Like if you can, I think like Oda originally planned for One Piece to be a 5-year-long story. Like he was like, oh yeah, like when he started, he's like, oh, it'll be like 5 years, then I'll be done. Which would have been
a quick jaunt.
Yeah, it would have been 250 chapters. And then he got like 3 years in, he was like, oh, these motherfuckers will read anything.
They're like, I'm cooking.
These stupid motherfuckers will read me talk. Like they'll go to an island made out of cake and they'll ruin a wedding. And everyone's like, hell yeah. Second best arc in all of the time skip era. So like he was like, all right, cool. I'm just gonna like take this out as long as I can. I'm now worth $250 million. Let's just keep it running here. So like I think the live action and possibly the Percy Jackson thing just is like really good at condensing the circuitous and incredibly like Oda is like we get called yappers. Oda is the top G rapper. Like he's the Andrew Tate of rappers. Like he's like oh I got the Japanese, like the Japanese teacher, the language or like originated from
what
him.
A comparison.
What?
Like Oda's the Andrew Tate of manga.
Yappers. I call him the top G and he's the fucking top G. You get it. I fucking hate him.
But fucking, well, it's just interesting to me that it's like, it's almost like the TikTokification of shit. That's where it got boomerish for me, where I was like, yeah, now so much of our content is like a minute-long video instead of like 3-hour like YouTube or like 20 minutes.
You're like these kids can't pay attention anymore.
Well, it's like Invincible too. Invincible was known for being like the One Piece of like comic books, where it's like really slow pacing, but the slow pacing works because you're like, oh, that seed that was planted 50 chapters ago had so much time to bloom that now that it's a flower. It is a gorgeous flower.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
And like, shit is just like flying through all this shit. And I'm like, I think it works. It both works and doesn't work. Cause I do appreciate when like, you know, you have this like long form thing and you're like, oh my God, I remember that from like episode or chapter 1 and now it's chapter 300 and it's come back. And like, I think with Invincible, like the Omni-Man thing, Omni-Man coming back in the comic took like fucking dozens and dozens of chapters. And so when he comes back, you're like, oh, here we go. He's back.
He's back 2 episodes into Invincible. Is that show back yet?
No, not yet. Oh,
I forgot it existed.
But it's just like, yeah, now that he's back, I'm like, where season 2 starts, I'm like, all right, when's he come back? Like, chop,
genuinely, the season didn't start for me until he came back. Yeah. I was like, oh, cool, we're doing Mark. Yeah, of course. And Omni came back. I was like, let's fucking go. I just like, Mark is not, I get that he will become a more compelling, but like the most compelling part of Invincible to me is Omni-Man.
Oh, interesting.
Oh, yeah, I love Omni-Man. Like, I get that Mark's an interesting character and I like find him very interesting. Like, but like Omni-Man to me is like, the center of my attention. Cause like, I'm like, oh, like I want to see you battle your Viltrumite DNA. I want to see you. Cause like Mark has every reason in the world to not like the Viltrumites.
Yeah.
Like Omni-Man doesn't necessarily. Like he grew up in that like brainwashed society kind of thing. So like seeing him go on his struggle journey of like trying to battle against it is more interesting to me than like Mark, who obviously is going to be like, yeah, let's not fucking destroy my home and all my friends.
Mark, who's just like, how do I fuck my girlfriend without killing her?
Yeah. Like literally, yeah. It's like when I finish, it comes out at Mach 6. Like I'm just punching holes in the roof here.
Yeah, but well, the opposite end, like the negative side of what I'm saying, where I'm like, oh, is shit too fast? I found a comment on TikTok today that was like the boomer side of what I'm saying, where they go, preying on the One Piece's downfall, like the remake. Like, I'm preying on the One Piece's downfall. If pacing keeps you from enjoying a show, you don't deserve to watch it. What are your takes?
That's an awful take.
Awful take?
Horrendous.
What letter take would you
fucking F tier take. That's all. Like, all right, here's my thing. And it's the same line, that mentality of like, oh, I want the One Piece to fail because I watched. Well, no, it's because I watched One Piece.
Yeah.
It's the same thing as like people being like, oh, I don't want college debt to be erased because I paid mine. It's like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you upset that you paid? Like, yeah, man, sorry that happened to you. Don't you want the rest of human society to be better off?
Yeah.
Like, and so it's like, oh, I watched the 1,100 episodes. I bet if the One Piece came out when you were 12 and you got to watch the condensed, like, better animated version of One Piece as your way to enjoy the story, you would be stoked.
Yeah.
But, like, people are just like, oh, I sunk the time into the 1,100 episode slog that is the One Piece anime. Listen, I'm 870 episodes into One Piece. I'm going to rewatch it when the One Piece comes out because, one, new animation, which is going to be incredible to see, and two, like, I can't even conceptualize what One Piece is going to be like well-paced.
Yeah.
Because listen, everyone's like, oh, Katakuri versus Luffy, that's the longest fight in anime history. Fucking not because it's good. Like, not because it's like, oh, they have so much to figure out again, like, in this battle. No. Like, yes, the character development of Katakuri and Luffy throughout the duration of their almost 25 episode fight is incredible to watch. It really is. Like, Luffy, like, starts to tap into observation hockey and, like, he has to, like, try and triumph against his hardest ever opponent. And, like, one could possibly make the argument that the length that they're fighting really, like, pays into credence that Luffy is, like, truly struggling and he has to overcome this giant mountain. But, like, you can tell that story by not repeating nine-headed mochi like a gajillion and a half times. Like, they really use like 4 moves over and over again. It's 28 episodes of Luffy getting thrown into a fucking wall so hard he breaks it. And then at the end, it's just like, I'm not going to spoil it, but like being like, oh, I watched One Piece while the pacing was bad. I hope everybody has to do it is so fucking stupid.
Yeah.
It's asinine.
It's so ridiculous. It's funny too, because it's like, the anime isn't paced like that out of like artistic, like, you know, out of like any artistic choice. It's paced like that because it's cheaper and
they keep catching the manga. Like, they're not that far behind the manga.
Yeah, and they also like are doing it weekly. Yeah. So like that's why that shit's slow.
For 25 years.
Yeah.
And the thing is, an anime episode is supposed to be 2 to 3 manga chapters.
Yeah.
But if the manga's coming out weekly and the anime's coming out weekly for 25 years, if you ever go beyond that 1 chapter and episode mark, you're now going to cut into the manga content. And since there is basically no filler in One Piece, it's the pacing that gets hit with it. And that was the choice they had to make. Either like I think there's something like 90 or 100 episodes of filler in the entirety of the One Piece anime, which is now encroaching on 1,100 episodes.
Yeah.
And it's like we're gonna have to cut into the pacing, and that's not done exactly for like an artistic purpose to be like, oh, you have to appreciate the journey with all the hours you spent. No, it's fucking release schedules.
Yeah,
that's it. It's nothing more complicated than that.
It's like objectively like the inferior method to consume One Piece. Like, like the manga is the pacing it was intended for.
Yeah,
the anime is just like that for financial reasons. Like, why wouldn't you? It's just like a weird frat hazing thing where it's like, I experienced the shitty pacing.
Yeah, it was like before a frat got canceled for killing a kid. Like, that's the hazing I went into.
Yeah, you should have to drown a kid too.
Yeah, it's like, you should have to eat your own puke. That's what I went through. It's like, fucking no.
It's funny too, because they're like, if pacing keeps you from enjoying a show, you don't deserve to watch it. That's like being like, hey, if bad dialogue or bad acting keeps you from enjoying a show, you don't deserve that show. Yeah, if
piss poor animation stops you from enjoying the beauty of 7 Deadly Sins, then you don't get to enjoy it.
What the fuck are you talking about? Yeah. Like, it's not, anytime people are like, be grateful for this show, when criticizing it, it's so strange to me. Yeah. Because I get it in terms of like, I don't know. I guess I'm going to be a hypocrite.
I get it in terms of like manga releasing. Wow. So the big thing going on right now with Black Clover is that they got a new chapter December 25th. Yeah. And it came out, it was really good, but it was 28 pages long. And we'd waited 3 months. And everyone was like, oh, 28 pages over 3 months is atrocious. And I'm like, that's the circumstance where you should be like, be fucking grateful that Tabata, the man going through family and health issues, found the time to release you 28. Like, at least there's a schedule for your story to be finished. Fucking Hunter x Hunter has been in a definite hiatus for almost 6 years.
Yeah. No, it's like, there's definitely like an asterisk behind my like, what are you talking about, be grateful thing?
Yeah.
Because with like JJK, anytime people are like, yeah, this was like an ass animated episode, I'm like, fucking, first off, you're incorrect.
Yeah.
And second, they are like working with a gun to their head and like a brace to their wrist.
Mind you.
Yeah, like, and at age 16. And it's like, so that I like get mad when people aren't grateful. But then when it's like, I don't know, like when it's, I don't know, when people are like, when something comes out, like a new Call of Duty, and people are like, there's no content and this is twice as expensive as it usually is.
Yeah.
And people are like,
they're like, multiplayer's broken and the campaign's 3 hours.
Yeah. And it's like, be grateful, like, for once, like, they made a game, and it's like, they're gonna make it anyway. I just want it to be good. What do you mean, be grateful?
It's like, oh, the AAA studio with literally billions of dollars,
exactly.
they could have not recycled Warzone.
Yeah,
like, it's
exactly.
not that complicated.
Yeah, but so, wow, we are just like chain smoking topics.
What do you mean?
We just like the transitions. Like, we haven't for a second been like, what do you want to talk about next?
I guess.
You know what I mean?
I mean, we can do you want to talk about JJK's final episode?
Sure.
Yeah?
Yeah. What'd you think? Fine.
This episode made me somehow forget Kenjaku's plan.
Yeah.
I literally was like watching this and I got confused, and I was like, I've done 20-minute YouTube videos explaining Kenjaku's plan in intimate detail. So I'm watching it. He's like, oh, I did the idol transfiguration on all of Japan, and I changed the brains of non-sorcerers into sorcerers. And I was like, motherfucker, I don't remember what this dude's talking about, because it happened so long ago in the manga. It happened like fucking 3 years ago in the manga. Everything that's happening right now, because it ends on chapter 136. And so I'm like, I go on like TikTok and all that, and I see everybody being like, I don't get it. And so I had to like refresh. I had to reread the manga and like remind myself of like what Kenjaku's plan was.
Right.
But do you understand it?
I'm gonna be honest, I didn't even attempt to.
Okay.
Like, I'm gonna have to rewatch. I want to rewatch season 1.
Yeah.
And I might get the Blu-ray. I don't know. I'm still kind of mad at Mappa, and I'm like taking my dumb little stance.
Yeah.
But
you can pirate it. You can pirate the
yeah,
Blu-ray.
if you could pirate the like Blu-ray version without the like ghosting and shit, then I'll do that. I want to rewatch season 1 and season 2 without ghosting. And I might do it in dub, even though I like hate what I've seen of the dub.
Sukuna is so good.
Sukuna and Gojo seem good. Yuji, I really dislike.
I dislike the dub so much. Yeah. I don't get, like, I get that all the voice actors are very talented, but just to me, the voices don't match.
I saw the Mahito Yuji thing, like when Mahito's like, Itadari Yuji. Worse in dub, way worse.
That's the thing. If you're gonna watch JJK, watch it in sub, if only for Mahito's VA performance.
Yeah, it's so good. I feel the same way about Demon Slayer with Kyoko? No. Gyotaro?
Gyotaro, yeah. You're talking about the Upper Moon 6. Yeah, Gyotaro.
Yeah, him. Like, he was one of the people that I was also like, this is redefining, like, an anime performance for me.
Yeah.
But, like, fucking... So I want to rewatch it in dub, because now that, like, the fighting has stopped and people are, like, just explaining shit, I, like, couldn't keep my eyes
trying to, like,
from
look
crossing.
at the pretty, like, visuals while also reading the text, and you're like, I have no idea what's going on.
I just, like, couldn't keep my eyes from crossing and, like, glazing over. Like, when Kenjaku's, like, just riffing, I'm like, whatever. I literally work with the guy whose job it is to explain this shit to me.
Yeah.
I can't keep hold of
when
my
you said I literally
attention span.
work with the guy, and I was like, who? I was like, oh,
You're like,
you're like, oh, it's
coworkers?
me. It's me.
It was me.
Yeah.
As me.
The episode was a lot of still frame images, and I was like, they deserved that.
This was a slideshow.
Yeah, I was like, they deserved this one.
It's still frames of, like, cities too, which is funny. Yeah, I was just like, wow, what a just big stretch.
Yeah,
of the
they're just like a couple of animators passed out, and they're like, all right, put the slideshow on.
Yeah, like
these idiots won't know what's going on anyways.
Yeah.
So basically,
last thing, the slideshow, if I can critique it, was like too fast of a slide. Like, I was trying to read the subtitles.
Yeah.
And the image would switch. Like, my brain would get, like, relaxed. I'm like, oh, it's a still image. I'll read.
Yeah.
Then it switches a little too soon.
I gotta look at this one.
And I'm like, what?
Yeah.
And then I come back down and the subtitle is switched.
Kenjaku's on, like, talking, like, explaining the culling game already. Yeah. Like, how did we get here?
They, like, the rhythm of the slideshow and the subtitles were fucking with my head. And I was like, I'm a mess right now. I need this in dub.
Okay. Let me give it to you straight here. So... basically, Kenjaku's plan is something he's been working on for 1,000 years.
Right.
Kenjaku is a cursed spirit user. And so his ability, he's a little brain, and he can switch his brain into different people's bodies. And when he switches his brain into different people's bodies, he gets their abilities and their memories and their cursed energy. That's why he has all of Geto's abilities. That's why he can use cursed spirit manipulation. That's why he can do all that kind of thing. But Kenjaku has been a bunch of different people, which means he gets a bunch of different people's abilities. But because he has cursed spirit manipulation, he eats Mahito, right? He turns Mahito in a big old ribbon. And then after that, he uses Geto's like alternative technique, like his like master technique, which is maximum Uzumaki, which basically takes a bunch of cursed spirits that Geto currently like is able to manipulate and turns them into a big old like spiral thing. You remember that shoots the laser? When he does that, any cursed spirits involved in that big old swirl that are above a semi-grade 1 ranking, like you know how there's rankings for cursed spirits, he gets their curse technique.
Okay.
So because Mahito was in the maximum Uzumaki and Mahito was a special grade cursed spirit, he gets idol transfiguration.
So can Kenjaku do this because he's Geto?
Yes.
Okay.
Geto could do it. Geto used it against Yuta.
I remember Geto could do it, and that's why I'm like, wait, Ken didn't fucking...
Yeah.
But anyway, go on.
So he gets Geto's abilities. So now he gets idol transfiguration, but he can only use it once. So any semi-grade 1...
Wait, I didn't think Geto got their ability. I thought Geto got them, like a Pokemon.
He does.
My God, I just opened a cut. Go on.
Do you need a Band-Aid?
No, I think I'm fine.
Are you sure?
I just I was scratching something, and I was like, what is this? And I was like, oh, it's the cut that I made yesterday. And I was like doing like a...
I got some lemons in the back. Yeah, we can just squeeze them out there. Gone. Anyways, so he can use the curse technique once. So he can use idol transfiguration once.
And he hasn't done it yet.
No, he uses idol transfiguration. So he uses idol transfiguration on the entirety of Japan, basically.
Oh boy.
But it's only on 2 different groups of people. So Kenjaku's plan has been, the minorities.
Oh boy, I don't remember this.
The Miguels. No, and so the Miguel's just lands in Kyoto, and he's like, ow.
just like, with my plan, I will take down the 2 groups who have wronged me, the Miguels and the Ramirezes.
It's like, what is this, West Side Story here? So he uses idol transfiguration on people that he's fed cursed objects to. And so people he feeds cursed objects to get put in kind of like a coma state. Okay. So one of the people that he's fed a cursed object to is Megami's sister.
Okay.
That's why she's out. Like you saw a photo of her. She had the like symbol on her forehead. So he fed her a cursed object. And because of that, she was like a coma. And so the idol transfiguration turns her into a host. And it's a host of a previous sorcerer. Like a sorcerer who's dead and gone.
Is all of this stuff I was told today in the episode?
Yeah.
Go on.
All of this you're told. None of this is a spoiler.
Okay,
it's just very confusing. So everybody that's been a host, like been given a cursed object by Kenjaku, is now basically going to become Yuji and Sukuna, but Sukuna's always in control.
Okay, got you. So he's just possessing people
with previous sorcerers who he's made a contract with over the course of 1,000 years. So like he finds all the strongest sorcerers like throughout the 1,000 years he's been alive, and he's bringing them all back to life simultaneously. What?
I promise you, none of that was told to me.
Yeah, it for sure is. That is. Actually, the host thing may not be explained. I don't know. He might have just called them hosts.
Get in the comments and tell me if any of that happened in this final episode.
It's just people saying, I just send people to Nick's page.
I have 3 comments. I have 3 notes about this episode.
Okay, but there's more. Okay, so there's the second group of people. So there's the people he fed cursed objects to. Second group of people.
The Miguels, I forgot.
Yeah, the Miguels. And the second group of people, the Ramirezes, are the people who are born with a cursed technique, but not the brain of a sorcerer. So do you remember how Junpei had a cursed technique? He could use the little like jellyfish things, but he didn't have a cursed technique until he wasn't able to use it until Mahito used idol transfiguration on him to change his brain into that of a sorcerer. So the second group of people is people like Junpei who are born with a cursed technique but not the ability to use it. So he used idol transfiguration to turn all of their brains into the brains of sorcerers. So now there's new sorcerers awakening from the past who are taking over these hosts, and now there's new sorcerers awakening who had a cursed technique but couldn't use it because their brain wasn't the right way. So there's now a massive influx of a bunch of jujitsu sorcerers in Japan, and they're all going to have to kill and fight against each other. And that's called the culling game. And that's all to refine cursed energy because Geto/Kenjaku wants a bunch of really sweet and nice cursed energy.
Now you're talking my language.
I'm not going to tell you what he needs the sweet and the nice cursed energy to do because that is a spoiler, but he wants all the cursed energy that the culling games is going to create to do something.
Okay.
You get it?
Sure.
It's fine.
I do get it, I think. Something our audio-only listeners will miss out on is me using every muscle in my face
to not look elsewhere and like directly look at me.
Trying to hone in and understand. So how is this not going to be better
Shibuya Incident?
Than Shibuya? Because this is like the war arc, essentially, right? It's like a Hunger Games.
It's not. It's like, okay, here's the thing. JJK never gets worse. JJK gets to the Shibuya Incident. I would say Hidden Inventory is where JJK gets really good. Gets to the Shibuya Incident, and then it never looks back. It's not, I wouldn't say it's on a constant upward rise, but like it never gets worse than the Shibuya Incident.
Here's what I'll say. This has the potential, because would you say that the Shibuya Incident is better in the anime than the manga?
Yes. Yeah.
This
fights are really hard to read in JJK.
You now can't really determine, other than writing, which arcs will be the best anymore.
From an anime perspective?
Well, because they're taking so many liberties. Like you said, the Sukuna and Jogo fight.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Full like half-hour situation. Not in the manga. It was very quick. Same with the Hanami.
Oh God, no. Oh God, now you fucking you fucked me now.
What'd I do?
You fucked me. Maharaga. Thank you.
No.
Hanami.
With the eyes.
Oh, when he pulls out, when Gojo pulls out his eyes?
Yeah.
Gojo does that in
What's the name?
Hanami.
Okay, Hanami. That's what I mean. Yeah, the Hanami fight you said is also extended with the like crazy push.
No,
thing.
that happens in the manga.
Oh,
yeah.
I see.
Yeah, no, what I said is the Maharaga fight versus Sukuna. Maharaga puts up a way bigger fight against Sukuna than he puts up. She, actually, I think Maharaga's a girl. It's Curse Spirit, who gives a shit. And so Maharaga puts up a way bigger fight against Sukuna in the anime than they do in the manga.
Got you.
Yeah.
But so, yeah, like, I think even if, because my thought process is like, oh, all of that setup sounds like it's setting up like the best fights in all of anime. Like all of these old sorcerers coming together. Also, the twist at the end of this episode, which we'll get into. That Yuta's back. Yeah. We'll get into it right now, I guess.
Yeah.
Seems like it's setting up an even bigger season than this one. And I think that since if the anime like keeps being this crazy, then like even manga readers like could be surprised. I think.
Yeah, oh, for sure. I think but I'm a manga reader of JJK, and I'll fully admit that everything that the anime has adapted up until this point is better than the manga. It's like, but like at the same time, it's a close race, but fights are so much harder to read in the manga than they are in anime. Yeah. And that's the one differential. Like the music design, the voice acting, the like scale, the pacing, all of that has been perfect in the anime. And I would make that argument for a lot of modern day anime that the adaptation is better than the manga just because it's anime. Like, it's got music, it's got voice acting. Like, I would say there's definitely moments in modern day anime, like MHA's most recent season might have been better in the manga, but like not even really. Because like, oh, you didn't like the still frames. Okay, go read a fucking fight in MHA. It's damn near impossible.
Yeah. So, I gotta get you to read a Vinland Saga manga. Because it's like the peak of like how to do manga fights with like clarity.
Well, it's like One Punch Man, true, Dr. Stone, all those like, which fucking the artist of Dr. Stone was getting some heat on Twitter recently. You sent me that was wild.
Like everybody, like the fucking artist of JJK is getting heat, where people are like, oh, he draws like chicken scratch. Like
he definitely does draw chicken scratch, like actually like fairly often.
From what I've seen, it looks pretty sick though. Like it looks pretty intense.
It's not like great, but it's like it's good. Like it is good, but it's not like it's not One Punch Man. It's not Dr. Stone. It's like, but it's done. Right. You know, it's complete. Like it's finished.
I think it looks pretty solid. It looks like Chainsaw Man to me.
Yeah.
It's like sketchy. Like the only mangaka that I've like subscribed to the like, not the hate train, because I think like they all can draw better than me.
Yeah.
Like, but if we're comparing them to each other, like Boruto's hard to look at.
Ikimoto in the early chapters is awful. Not Kakashi.
Kakashi's a pretty good drawing.
Kakashi step back up. No, Kishimoto step back up in like after chapter 52, and Boruto looks a lot better now than it used to. But Boruto definitely doesn't look great. If you're gonna look at like one manga and be like objectively, this doesn't look good, the early chapters of Demon Slayer are
fair.
ugly as fuck.
In his defense, but also not in his defense, he's like, I like drawing backgrounds. I hate drawing people.
Yeah.
Like, hire a guy, right?
Yeah.
Like, get a guy who likes drawing people.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, it's like, hey, this is how we draw them. Can you do it like that, please? Yeah, okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
It definitely gets better later on in the story. But yeah, the mangaka in the early parts of Demon Slayer is not great.
I've seen that. I couldn't read Demon Slayer.
Oh, no,
it's so weird.
Demon Slayer's anime is vastly better than its manga. Anyways, back to JJK.
Yeah. All right. Other things happened.
So, no, the culling game it's like the Shibuya incident where it's a lot of plot moving forward. There's an underlying theme kind of, it's like them trying to stop the culling game. And then there's an insane amount of fights, but the fights are between different people. Right. So it's like the season is more heavy. This season is probably as heavily focused on Yuji as any season in JJK.
That's so funny because this show feels like it doesn't actually like
Yuji.
Its main cast.
Yuji becomes less relevant after the Culling Games. The Culling Games is really the only arc, except for what's currently happening in the manga, where Yuji is relevant.
Yuji, with the Nobara and Megumi are hardly in this fucking show.
Big arc for two of them.
This one?
Yeah. It's big for Megumi and Yuji. It's obviously not big for Nobara.
You had people like, oh, for Megumi. I thought it's pretty big for, if someone like, quote unquote dies in an arc, I'd call it a big arc for that person.
I'm talking the Culling Games is a big arc for Megumi and Yuji. Like they get way more screen time.
I thought you meant Shibuya.
But like it's not even like Shibuya Insane is not a big arc for Yuji. Like it is like Mahito's obviously that battle is probably the most important fight, but like we're always focusing on Sukuna, who I guess is like the Gojo, Jogo, Maharaga, like,
Toji, Geto.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. There's a lot going on. The Kyoto students pull up. It's like Yuji is really important to the Shibuya incident, but the Culling Game focuses on him way more.
It's just funny how like only season 1 really features the trio.
Yeah.
The movie literally doesn't have them. Oh, it's a prequel. I know, that's why. The season 2, they're like not in it. Nobara.
Well, the prequel. Like, yeah, the Gojo, Geto prequel.
Well, the prequel, they're not like, but I mean like the rest of season 2, they're like, Nobara's like simply not in this season.
She shows up, has like a 30-second fight against Mahito, and then gets slapped in the face.
Yeah, Megumi has like 2 fights. That's
He's versus Toji and
Bunny.
I guess he's kind of
tough
involved.
Guy. He does a strong guy.
Oh, true, and he's also kind of involved in the Dagon fight.
He's a little in the Dagon fight. But yeah, just like it's strange. The main cast is like hardly in its own show,
which is like kind of a thing that people use against JJK. They're like, oh, Yuji is like a side character in his own story. And
I'm down for it. I don't like Yuji.
Well, that's the thing. He is an interesting character. He is kind of like what we were talking about with One Piece, where the seed is planted and the seed continually gets planted. Like there's moments where Sukuna will be like, he'll see him and he'd be like, oh, he's from that period.
Yeah.
Like there's so many like small hints, and it's like eventually you find out who his parents are, and it's like all these kinds of things. There's like small hints. It's like the beginning interaction he has with his grandfather. People believe that his grandfather put a binding vow on him to protect people. And so there's so much shrouded mystery around Yuji because the story isn't entirely focused on him that is beginning to pay off now in the manga and like in the final fight. So it's like, this is like Yuji is the seed that grows throughout the story. And the Culling Games is where he really starts to like become more known in the story. But the Culling Games is also heavily focused on Yuta, who is actually supposed to be the main character of JJK.
Right.
So it's like the Culling Games is less focused on like a myriad of different people. It's like a whole new cast of people get introduced because it's all the people that are just got turned into sorcerers or all the old sorcerers returning. So like there's going to be new characters like Hikari, Kashimo, Higuruma, all these characters who you haven't even met yet.
Rattling off names truly means nothing.
Nothing to you. Nothing, but those are 3 of the, like currently as it stands, those are the 3 of the fan base's favorite characters.
Yeah. And
they don't get introduced until the Culling Game.
Right.
So it's like, it's a whole new cast of characters, and then it's Yuta, Megumi, and Yuji being like the main focus of the story.
Right. So that's the big thing of this episode. Also, I have 3 notes. I have, Yo, Cursed Spirits just dropped, which, because doesn't that happen where like the public finds out about cursed spirits?
Oh my God, yeah,
like,
yeah.
The president is like, I'm announcing cursed spirits.
Yeah. Like, we just dropped cursed spirits. Don't worry, they're only in Tokyo. Like bullshit.
Can you imagine if like you turned on the TV one day and Biden was just like,
ghosts.
Yeah,
Ghosts.
he's like, there's ghosts now.
Yeah. And you'd be like, okay, cool. He has lost it. Yeah, nice.
So that's funny. I like that. And then I have Yuta's back, baby.
Mine is just Yuta's back with 4 Ks.
You want to know what's really funny? No one's going to like this in the comments.
Love that
for
us.
a brief second, I thought he was Aki.
Aki from Chainsaw Man?
I was like, whoa, what a crossover.
Yeah, and he was just got his nail sword out.
Because he like he has the katana and it looks like the nail sword.
Yeah.
Like in that frame. And then Yuta vaguely looks like Aki with his hair down. And I was like, but it was like a literal flash. I was like, holy shit, Aki's back.
Yeah, you're like, he's not going to do well here.
Yeah, I was like, wrong show. Like, but yeah, so Yuta's back, and I love the episode ends hype because it's like Yuta's back, and he's like, I'm gonna kill Yuji, and I'm like, sick, awesome.
Nice. Yeah,
I hope it's not like a Batman versus Superman thing where it's like, if they fight, I want a definitive winner. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I hate when they do like, oh fucking.
Do you want him to kill Yuji?
Like, I always want someone to kill Yuji.
Okay, yeah. Of course, I'm always hoping for it.
Yeah, I like Yuta as a protagonist more than Yuji.
Yeah.
But like, best case scenario, one of them just straight up changes their names. Honestly,
It's just like it's like
to make that
like he kills
easier.
Yuji and he's like, I'm the Yuji now. The real Jujutsu Kaisen was the cursed spirits we met along the way.
But like, I hate like in Batman vs Superman where it's like they have these kinds of movies that are versus movies,
and then they're like, but there's an actual big bad.
Yeah, and it's like we got to work together.
Yeah.
Like,
and Wonder Woman's here for some reason.
Yeah, and Aki's here.
Yeah, and he's just like, what? I have 2 duos. I don't want to watch these fucking children.
Like, but so like, I want a definitive winner. I do love that the episode ends with like the execution order is out on Yuji now. It just
and the principal.
It just seems like they're setting up like the Shibuya incident 2.0.
Yeah, core 2.
Yeah, I can't imagine this won't be unbelievably hype.
Oh, it will be.
Yeah.
It will be. And then after that is the final arc. It's like the big old battle against, all the big baddies. And that is also going to be incredibly hype. And then the story ends.
Crazy.
I know. The Culling Game is probably about as long as Shibuya Incident, so it'll be another 24 episodes.
I hope they could keep it up animation-wise without a mass suicide happening.
Listen, they'll just shovel in more 16-year-olds.
This is how like an anime plot begins. Is like you'll have this is literally like the plot of Madoka Magica. Like they'll bring Madoka to some like burned down building and they'll be like, this is where all the negative energy happens. And she's like, why is it so negative here? And it's like
this is
30 animators killed themselves.
This is where we make the show.
This is where Madoka Magica
was made. And they're just like, please help us.
Like if they're not careful, they're going to make JJK actually happen.
Cursed spirits will actually drop. Like if there was going to be a place, it would be Mappa headquarters. Like that's why. That thing is, they kind of lean into it too in the story. It's like, oh yeah, cursed spirits don't pop up anywhere else besides Japan, and it's because we all work ourselves to fucking death.
I know.
Like that is the plot of so many different shows where they're like, oh yeah, negative emotion manifested like spirits are only really a thing in Japan, and it's like, oh, I fucking wonder why.
I know.
Yeah.
I've been seeing, speaking of like JJK getting meta, I've been seeing TikToks of like that dude who like explains like 24 frames per second in like the TV settings. Do you remember? He had that power that's 24 frames.
Oh, you're talking about like actually like Naruto. Yeah. Nobito.
He has that speech where he's like talking about modern day TVs and animation and 4K.
Yeah.
And like, I just remember when he did that, like, he's like, that's why most modern TVs have interpolation already set. You have to go into your TV settings. And I'm just like, wait, hold on, slow down.
Please, I don't know. How do you want me to watch this?
I'm trying. Like,
it's just the editors being like, please watch this in a lower FPS.
Well, it's funny too, because I'm like, JJK looks a little fuzzy on like a 4K screen. Like it looks fine. It looks great. It's a stunning show.
Yeah.
But like every now and then I'm like, man, this looks a little like crisper on my laptop because my laptop's not 4K. And like he has that bit where he's like, it's not so easy making an anime in 4K. And I'm like, all right, damn.
Okay, I'm sorry you're on fire.
Sorry.
What do you want from me?
Yeah.
But yeah, JJK was awesome. It'll be back in a couple of months, I could imagine. Do you know?
Rank? No, I don't know. Rank the fights.
Rank the fights?
Rank the fights of this season.
I couldn't tell you. All right, you know what? We'll take a.
We said we'd do this. Or do you want to do it next week?
This? All right. So should I look up all fights in Shibuya incident? Because there's no way I would remember Shibuya incident arc battles. Yo, shout out to JujutsuKaisenFandom.com. All right.
I typed in all fights. The first thing to show up was in Shibuya.
Okay, so we have. Are we gonna rank them? There's 17. So are we gonna? Should we write these down?
I mean, yeah. Hold on. Where are you seeing like? God, this is tough. They're in alphabetical order, which is annoying.
They are in alphabetical order.
Okay. The worst one is the cricket, right? We could say the cicada.
Yep.
Number 17, the worst one. F tier fight.
I would say yes, absolutely. Yeah, that would probably be the last one. Oh, they have a lot of like minor fights in here.
I'd say the buff guy who like inverses strength.
Yeah. I think that's Kogai. I think that's
that's the cicada. Kogai Cicada.
Oh, Kogai is Cicada. Okay.
Yeah. Would you say? I'd say that like just under that one, I'd put the dude who reverses strength.
Wait, no.
weakness.
So Dick Monster last.
Yeah.
Kogai. Yeah, I would say.
No, Kogai is Dick Monster.
I'm sorry, Dick Monster last, and then the inverse strength guy who's there with the Seance Grandma.
Yes.
Right above that.
Yeah.
Who is Jiro Asakawa?
Who's smallpox deity? Oh, man.
That
this
Jiro.
hardly
His
counts.
name is Jiro. Oh, the smallpox deity. I would say Meme versus smallpox deity. It was creepy. It was cool.
Yeah.
That's probably down there as well.
Yeah. Those are hardly worth ranking.
Yeah, I would say. Yuji versus Mahito is up there.
Any Meme fight like isn't worth putting in.
Yeah, no, probably not.
Would you put the Nanami fight anywhere?
Which one?
Nanami against Mahito. Or not Mahito. Who's the fucking
Dagon?
blonde dude?
Oh, that one. No. I
No.
mean, that's just like him punching him 3 times and just being like, you've been a bad boy.
Yeah.
That was just like every female JJK fan just slid off their chairs when that happened. I don't know if I would count.
That's just him soaking the fucking fan
Yeah, that
base,
was exactly. That was just like a thirst trap, honestly. I would say Dagon? No, Kokichi Muda versus Mahito. Mekamaru's fight is probably right above the smallpox fight. It's really good.
It's a great fight.
It's a great fight, but like, we're skipping a lot of fights here. Like, we're not going to talk Meme versus.
What if you give me like top 5?
Top 5 fights? That's a better idea.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go 1 to 5.
Like
so best fight,
best to worst.
Best to worst.
Okay.
It's just easier for me to conceptualize that way. Best fight because I know the best. I know best. Like I know what I like the most.
There's just no suspense in that type of
that's
ranking.
fine. You figure out what I like least. Jogo versus Sukuna is number 1 for me.
Okay.
Still.
Fair.
Below that is Sukuna versus Maharaga. Below that is probably Mahito and Toto Mahito, Toto, and Yuji.
Okay.
Like that entire, it's weird because you could say like, oh, there's the Nobara part of that fight, there's the Toto part of that fight, and then there's just the Yuji part of that fight. I would say that fight, oh wait, no. Chozo versus Yuji at 3.
Yeah, I was going to say, that is like, that one, when I saw it, I was like, this is pretty cool. It's like a bathroom brawl, whatever. But every week, I'm always like thinking about it. I'm like, man, this was no Chozo fight.
The
like,
blood laser and the animation.
Yeah, the blood laser's great. There's a bit where he like cuts a circle under him, and that's really good.
Anytime Chozo used his piercing blood this entire season was awesome. Like him versus Kenjaku was also incredible. So Yuji versus Chozo at 3. Number 4, the Mahito fight, and then number 5 is probably either Gojo versus the Disaster Curses, or it's either Gojo versus the Disaster Curses or the Mekamaru fight.
What are the Disaster Curses?
Hanami, Jogo, and
where he sharpens the shit.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty good.
No, that's Toji. That's Toji versus
Gojo fights Hanami.
So that's him using his
crushing
crushing
and he does
Hanami.
his like Legoshi weird
and
scuttle.
snags a bunch of heads. Yeah,
I forgot that was good.
Yeah, Toji versus honorable mention, Toji versus Dagon, and then motherfucker Toji versus Megami was also incredible.
I think I agree with all of them except Toji versus Megumi. No, that one's
Toji versus Megumi. Him poking the rabbits,
I mean,
electrifying the entire room with Nue. It was dope.
It's pretty fine.
That was just him beating the shit out of Megumi.
Just a beat down.
That was just Megumi forgot the beer.
Yeah, okay. I think I agree entirely with your list. I might switch. I think Maharaga may be above Jogo for me. And I think I'd put Gojo versus Toji in top 5 somewhere. Either as number 5 or number 4.
I was literally just talking Shibuya Incident.
Yeah. Well,
Gojo versus Toji. Yeah, it is technically season 2. Should be up there for sure.
I love that one. Like, it's just great. It's not like the craziest, but it's like the one I was most like compelled to writing wise.
Yeah.
So yeah, that one still is up there for me. So yeah, I think it's like Maharaga fight, Jogo fight, fucking, what was your third? Chozo fight.
Yeah.
I think Gojo, Toji, then maybe
Mahito.
God, I can't remember who these fucking people are.
Mahito's the cursed spirit.
I think our Mahito fights are different though. I don't. God, Togo.
Which one? Toto's a clap. Toto's clap.
Toto.
Yes. Yep.
Fucking, I hate this show.
You don't have to think about it for a long time.
3 out of 10 show.
Yeah, you would listen
because of the names.
We have like 50 more episodes of the show until you have to worry about it.
When he shows up, that's not in the top 5 for me.
Really?
I think Yuji versus Mahito alone is a top 5 for me. There's a lot of great memorable moments. I love when they're like squeezing in the subway.
Him before they even do that, and he's just piecing him up against the wall.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's just a lot of, it gets to me a little less creative when Toto shows up, which is weird because Toto
literally hits a lat spread. He literally hits the one for all lat spread through space and time.
That's not like creative. That's literally Anya Forger doing her like
That's
star
fair.
Anya ball.
Yeah,
like,
against what's his name?
Bill Watkins.
There we go. You get it.
Didn't have to do the voice.
Yeah, no, listen, I love
That's how I know it.
You're so dedicated to Bill.
Yeah, it's literally just that. Like, I hate to say if Spy Family didn't do it first, it'd be better. But
I mean, technically, MHA did it first. Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
But like, it's like, so like, but Mahito just uses his powers in such a creative application.
Yeah.
In his fight against Yuji, that even though it wasn't like the most visually spectacular episode, I was like, ooh, what's gonna happen next?
Yeah, it has to be. It couldn't be visually spectacular because Mahito's making himself like a net rib cage while also turning his like head into that of a rabbit. Like it's like there's so much thing they have to do animation wise. It was absolutely nuts. But yes, an incredible season, fantastic, about as good as it gets, and probably my favorite anime of 2023.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Should we get into it?
We should get into it.
Wow. Your favorite of 2023.
Oh, I'd say so.
Actually, that's not too crazy.
I'd say so. So me and Danny, because it's a first episode of the new year, we want to talk. And we didn't do last week's episode because Danny was out east with his fam. So we want to do a little reflection on 2023.
FamCon East.
Yeah, you were at FamCon East. Yeah, that actually happens in Alabama. It's much different than you anticipate. So we want to do a little reflection on 2023, and we want to give you guys our top 5 favorite anime that dropped in 2023. So I guess I kind of buried the lead there by saying that JJK Season 2 was my favorite, but I guess you probably could have guessed that. So we're going to start with my honorable mentions.
Okay.
I have 3 honorable mentions because if I didn't say them, I'm sure people would be very upset with me. First off, a little ditty known as Heavenly Delusion.
Yeah.
This show came out of nowhere.
Yeah. Did you keep up with it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah? You caught up?
I've seen every episode.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. The show came out of absolutely nowhere, dropped on Hulu. Didn't hear about it until it was like 5 episodes in. I was like, what could this be about? It's a story about a post-apocalyptic world of body switching, of transgender experiences. And it's one of the most gorgeous animes of the season, while also some of the most heavy-hitting tones, while also leaving me completely and utterly baffled for the entire run of it. So many Easter eggs and all of it. Fantastic.
That one was pretty. It had like an Akira vibe, or like a classic like art style to it, while still being like very modern looking.
Yeah, it was really good. Zom 100 is another honorable mention. Really
Solid
good.
honorable mention.
It's an honorable mention. It was really good, really fun. Probably my favorite brain dead anime of the year, I would say. Just like, you turn it on, you enjoy it, you have fun.
If the schedule wasn't so fucked, I'd probably look at it in a better light.
Them dropping the last 3 episodes on Christmas was a fucking shot to the knee.
Yeah.
But I watched all 3 of the episodes. The episodes are actually really good. Probably the best episodes of the season. So I love that. And then last honorable mention, TYBW Core 2.
Yeah.
It's just like, it was good. It's 1,000 Year Blood War arc. The fights were incredible. I don't think you can compare it to things like JJK because there's not as much payoff for the fights. So just random and newly introduced characters. Okay, it was a truck. But to get into the list,
That was an airplane, like a Boeing.
I
just
thought that was
landing.
us, dude. Yeah, it's like there's an airport nearby, so I thought that could have been us. Coming in at number 5, came out beginning of the year. I didn't think I was gonna like it.
Yeah,
because it was all CGI. Trigun Stampede.
Really?
So goddamn good. I loved Trigun Stampede.
I tried with every bone, vein, and muscle in my body to love Trigun Stampede. I wanted Stampede to be like my new personality.
Yeah.
I got like 3 episodes in and I like couldn't keep going.
The CGI was some of the best I've ever seen, but there was a couple of moments where you're like, oh, the frame rate's dropped a little bit here.
No, I mean, the CGI is gorgeous. I love the bit where he like, a bunch of like missiles are coming at him and he shoots one and they all explode. It's definitely gorgeous. It's just like, the dialogue didn't really grip me. I tried in sub and dub. The dub's writing is weirdly worse than sub. But like, it's just like, it wasn't really grabbing me. Vash is kind of annoying, which I know no one is going to like that opinion.
It's kind of his thing. Like,
I know.
He's the Stampede. He's the Cyclone. Like, he's supposed to be like kind of like wild.
Yeah, it's just I don't know. Nothing. It didn't click with me the way I was like really, really hyped for it.
I wish you had met Nicholas Wolfwood. Because you would have loved him. Because we're so Vash and Nicholas coded. Yeah. Oh, we're so Vash and Nicholas coded.
That'll be one of my resolutions. We'll get into it, but like, it's like 8 episodes. Like, I can finish it. I love the character designs. Yeah. Like, I've seen Nicholas. I've seen like, what's his name? Like 1,000 Knives or whatever.
Yeah, 1,000 Knives. Yeah.
Great name. Great character design. Yeah, I'll check it out.
It's very, very good. Coming in at number 4, technically not an anime.
Oh boy.
There's going to be a couple technically not an anime on this list here because low-key American animation threw the fuck down this year. So Blue Eye Samurai.
At 4, he says.
At 4? Easily.
Whoa.
There was a lot of really good shit that came out this year. Blue Eye Samurai was a ride. Incredible 8 episodes. Some of the best fights of the year. It's just Mizu cutting through the 1,000 hands or whatever their name was so compelling. Yeah. I love a classic. Is she a man? Is she a woman? Yeah. Why am I in love with her? Am I gay? Plot line. Yeah. I love that. And so the storyline, it just like being set in that Edo area or not even Edo. It was the Meiji period. Well, right before the Meiji period. Really, really cool. So Blue Eye Samurai. If you haven't seen it, please do. It's on Netflix. You know what else is on Netflix?
What?
My number 3 spot. It's coming in at number 3. Castlevania. Nocturne. Absolutely.
You're ridiculous.
So
you're actually insane for that.
I knew you were going to be upset about it too.
You're ridiculous.
You haven't even seen it. You have no
I've seen
right.
Enough.
You have no soapbox to stand on here, you heathen.
Blue Eye Samurai is my number 2.
Listen, I love that for you, and I very much enjoyed it. It was, like I said, one of the best things that happened this year. Castlevania Nocturne fucking banged.
I'm not gonna watch some woke ass fucking go broke ass black vampire ass.
Oh yeah,
French ass show.
Like Blue Eye Samurai isn't about a transgender hero trying to eradicate the white man from Japan.
She's hot.
Oh, yeah.
So that makes it fine.
So are the black vampires.
You're goddamn right. Yeah. You win this argument. Because let me tell you, they are exceptionally hot.
Like when I forget her name, but when she pushes her hair back into fire, it did something to me. And the entire season ends with Richter Belmont putting ice on his fist.
Putting dukes up.
Yeah, just putting dukes up and just boxing motherfuckers. And I am so excited for season 2 of Nocturne. My God. Coming at number 2, probably something you forgot came out in 2023, Vinland Saga.
I did not forget.
You didn't forget.
No, I'm manga only.
You're crazy. You're crazy.
Manga's so good.
The Farmland arc it moved me. Like, it moved my soul. It was one of the most gorgeous instances of storytelling I've ever seen in anime. One of the most gorgeous sequences of character development I've ever seen in anime. So Farmland arc, incredible. But yes, season 2 of JJK is my number 1 spot. Yeah. I love JJK. It's my favorite manga on earth right now. The adaptation was perfect. The animation was gorgeous. How could I not adore it?
Yeah, that's fair. I always respect Vinland Saga getting any amount of love. Yeah, I love. Yeah, as a man with your platform, I appreciate that somebody is talking about Vinland Saga.
It was very goddamn
because nobody will.
Yeah.
So Nick watched objectively more modern anime than I did this year. I watched a lot of
anime this year, yeah.
So your list is a little more like definitive and like makes more sense. I'm gonna do best anime I watched this year.
Gotcha.
Just so it's not like the same list of the same anime.
Love that for you.
I've got at number 5 Pluto.
Good.
Shocked you didn't put Pluto on there.
Shocked
it didn't beat Castlevania.
I never finished it.
Wow.
I got like 5 episodes and I never finished it.
Wow.
Yep.
It's very good.
I know.
I dig it. It's a slow burn.
Yeah.
Like every hour feels like an hour.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like especially the robot servant episode, you're like, wow, we've been with this family forever.
Yeah, it goes on quite a bit. Then at 4, I have Link Click. Very much dig Link Click.
If I would say Link Click just in 7 episodes would probably beat out Trigun Stampede as like favorite things I've watched this year.
Yeah, season 2 came out this year. I wish I saw that before this so I could have an actual 2023 one. But yeah, Link Click, we talked about it. Number 3, I have JJK season 2.
You know what? Sure.
Here's why, though.
No, you know what? For it to get up to number 3 on your favorite things you've watched this year, when you have watched objectively a lot of anime, considering how down you were on season 1, I'll take that as a win.
Here's the thing. I'm not even being inflammatory. Nothing of what I'll say.
Too horny.
Yeah, too
horny.
Too horny, too gay.
God, I hate when the boys look at each other.
Yeah. No, it's not even that, like, it's so, like, I will be talking about this season and hopefully the future seasons for the rest of my life. Like, I saw, Moist Critical, like Penguin Zero.
Yes, yeah.
He was saying that, like, this season technically has probably set the bar of anime, like, exponentially high, that we may never get a season of any other show like this.
Until, Culling Games season 3.
Yeah, until more JJK.
Until also possibly season 3 of One Punch Man. But yeah.
I just like maybe season 2 of One Punch Man was pretty like.
Yeah, but they switched studios. It's Mappa.
Oh, well, that's good. But like, and like, I agree. This is just like genuinely like a record breaking, like, or like historically unbelievably good season of anime.
JJK is currently in the biggest sweep of everything I've ever seen from any IP in the anime manga space ever.
Yeah, like from a technical standpoint and everything, like an unbelievable amount of like 10 out of 10 episodes in terms of fights.
It's comparable in hype to the early days of AOT.
Yes, for sure. Here's the thing. Although I disagree with that, because the thing is, the reason it's not like 2 or 1, even though it's like objectively, and I will fight on this hill until I die, that it is like the best animated thing that like maybe exists in terms of just like how many episodes are like S tier animation.
Gotcha, yeah.
I've like felt nothing but hype. Like it didn't make me feel like sad for anyone. I didn't care when Nobara got eyed. I didn't care about her backstory. It didn't like make me.
Listen, I understand Nobara because you're always talking shit about her. Not me.
No,
you felt nothing watching him fucking explode.
Because I just didn't care. I like still don't care about any of the characters.
I feel like you don't care about Yuji, and therefore you don't care about the pain that Yuji goes through.
Like it's entertaining, but like here's the thing: anytime fighting stopped, I was just bored.
Gotcha.
Like, this last episode, I was just bored, except at the very end when I'm like, oh, here's the fight roster lineup of next season.
Yuta, Yuki, Chozo, all of them,
There's like a full episode where Braid Girl is just yapping at Yuji.
Yeah.
And that I was just like, I'm not even going to read these subtitles.
Yeah.
Like, it was just like, anytime a fight's not happening, I just don't care. Except in hidden inventory.
Yeah.
And all of those characters are missing or dead.
Yeah. Yeah, all of them. Actually, every literal single
Literally
one.
100% of them.
Yeah.
I just like, so it's like, and again, I want to rewatch season 1 of JJK. Maybe I just like was embittered by it, but like the fact that hidden inventory like won me over leads me to believe that like I am thinking less subjectively, or not subjectively, but like the opportunity to win me over with these characters was there.
Yeah.
So it just like didn't make me feel like Blue Eye Samurai did, which is my number 2. Fucking incredible show.
Yeah.
One of the best revenge stories I've ever seen. I love how desperate the whole show is. The episode.
Also, a lot of titties.
It's like a little too naked, but I may feel that because I watched some of it on a plane.
Oh,
so I'm
there
like,
we go. And I hate that feeling.
I'm like, Yeah,
All
like,
right, yep, nope, nothing happened here.
there's like so much nudity, and I'm like, can you fucking calm down? I'm sandwiched between like two mothers right now.
I once watched Spartacus. I don't know if you ever watched Spartacus. Driving, I downloaded the episodes illegally onto my childhood laptop, and I was watching them on a car ride with my mom, and it was just like a straight full penetration scene, and I had to be like, all right, we're gonna turn away here.
Isn't Spartacus's subtitle literally like sex and blood?
I think so.
It's like
it
Spartacus, sex and blood.
It is borderline porn.
Yeah.
But I was watching it at like 13 years old.
Yeah, but like, yeah, Blue Eye Samurai was like outstanding. Like the episode with her first husband rattled me.
Yeah.
Absolutely rocked me to my core.
Yeah.
So that show, I have tons of notes for it, but we don't have to get too into it. But it just has like tons of banger lines. There's a line where like this one guy's like, you don't know who you're messing with. And she goes, I look your way and see nothing at all.
Yeah.
And I'm like, woof.
Wow. Yikes. And then absolutely backs it up.
Yeah. It's not perfect. I give it like a 9 out of 10. There's like I like hate Ringu and his voice actor.
The one with no hands?
No hands.
He is kind of annoying.
He's like just annoying, and I get that it's like, well, he's supposed to be annoying. Good. I'm annoyed. Don't like him.
Yeah, like congratulations, you've pissed off the viewer.
Yeah. There's like just some.
He's kind of endearing. I mean, there's moments where he is the moral compass of the show, though.
He's got moments.
Yeah.
He's just like, anytime he's talking, I'm like,
God, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, go away.
Yeah.
Taigen's voice actor ebbs and flows between me liking him. He's the Zuko character.
Yeah, okay, I was going to say, but I thought his voice actor's not the famous one. Because Kemi is
Brenda Song. She's good.
She's very good.
I like her.
She does a very good job.
I thought she was Scarlett Johansson for quite some time.
You thought so did Scarlett Johansson, apparently, because she's in Ghost in the Shell.
Well, yeah, that's true. But she sounds like Scarlett Johansson from a voice standpoint, which is funny.
That'd be so funny if she did it again. That'd be so fucking.
If no one could stop her.
Oh my God, Scarlett Johansson has the potential to do the funniest thing possible. Yeah.
But I love Mizu, the lead. Great voice acting.
Yeah.
I loved the two like main villains, like the English guy who's definitely Irish, but whatever.
I think he is.
He's like Scottish.
I think he's supposed to be Irish or Scottish. Yeah.
Oh, he keeps being like, I'm
from the United Kingdoms.
Yeah,
which includes
Ireland.
He says
England though.
I think he says the United Kingdoms.
He says I'm English. And I'm like, no, you aren't. Maybe he doesn't.
Well, okay,
I
I think being English means you're from. It's great. It's Great Britain.
Listen, regardless, I will surrender.
Fuck the Queen.
I'll surrender.
Free Ireland.
Geographically, I am a dunce. But I love him like all the other voice actors, but it was really just Ringu and Taigen that like I was like, I don't know. They ebb and flow. But fucking spectacular.
Oh, it's very good.
But since it's 9 out of 10, my number one that I watched this year is Madoka Magica, which is an 11 out of 10. Like
that's fucking good. Danny liked the homework I gave him.
But yeah, dude, I could talk about Blue-Eyed Samurai forever. I love that more.
How did the reaction series go to Madoka Magica? Did it do well?
It's not released.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm on a break right now.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, for all of January?
You're
doing it.
For half to a little more than half of January.
Cody called me the other day and he was like, I follow this Pokemon YouTuber and he's not posting for all of January, but he's doing a 30-day subathon. So he's like, because the CTR, or not the CTR, the RPM is low in January, but like he's like filling his pockets with like his watchers' money's about doing a month-long subathon. And I was like, I would rather make less money posting videos than do a 30-day live stream.
Yeah, that's way more work.
Way more work.
Yeah.
I would be like, oh no, I made 10% less. Yeah. Whatever. Then fucking, oh yeah, here we go. 30 straight days of recording myself playing Pokemon.
I know, Jesus Christ.
Blow my goddamn brains out.
Yeah, I'm doing it more just as like a to stock up on videos.
You love you're such a gold. You want to sit on your pile of gold.
I love getting ahead. Yeah. Here's the thing. I'm also maybe preparing for surgery. So like I'm gonna see one of my resolutions this year
is to change genders. We're finally doing it.
Yeah.
Let's get it, baby.
So I need I'm finally gonna become a man.
I was oh man, our titty bell could have just been you'd be like, titty bell.
If I came in one day, I was like, I got tits now. Ding, ding, ding.
If we just got tits as a bit, that'd be fantastic.
We get tits as a bit. We're all hype. Next week, we get them removed, and we're all just like, we're just sick as fuck with IVs, and we're like, it's a a lot harder to get them removed.
Yeah. That'd be an all-time. That'd be better than the Christmas bit. Just like Danny gets double D's.
That'd be awesome. I'd have to show them for validation.
Oh, you'd
People
have
just
to.
be
That'd
like, they're fake.
That'd be a Patreon thing.
Yeah, 100%. But what's it called? No, well, so my voice gets like really worn out really fast.
You think it's on account of the, screaming constantly?
No, but like, it's just for the time that I'm like recording to how fast I get worn out. Like, I can't do anything after the pod. I'm like cooked after a pod episode. I'm not talking right. Like, everyone who like knows anything about like vocal shit is like, yeah, I just don't know how to talk from the diaphragm. It's all up here.
The chest. I don't really know how to do it either, honestly.
I have no idea.
I talk from about here. I can feel it. I can feel it.
I'm like high collarbone.
Yeah.
But like everyone I've talked to who's like a singer, like I've talked to a few people over this like Christmas break and was like, they were getting like vocal therapy and stuff. And I was like, oh, that's sick. I'm looking into doing that. And they're like, oh, you may have polyps, which is what I had, where like you had to do vocal therapy for a bit and then get them like surgically removed.
Yeah.
And that's like a 1 to 8 week like fucking recovery. But
I would love to see what you would do with 8 weeks off work.
Yeah.
You would, Danny.
Yeah.
I don't think you'd make it.
Nah,
I don't think you'd make it.
You'd be like, hey, boys, girls, and squirrels, I'm fucking.
just like All Might, just like spitting out blood. Like, I missed you all. Like, you wouldn't make it.
The recovery's like, it's like 1 to 2 weeks of like vocal rest. And then it's like, hey, don't sing. I'm not singing.
I think we can figure that out. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean? If I learn how to talk right, I think my recovery will be like 2 weeks and then I chill out. So like the pod won't have to go through like months and months of
I mean, we're about to stack
hiatus.
interviews anyways.
Yeah,
so me and Danny are planning, since I'm going to be gone in China, we're going to be stacking interviews. So next week we're interviewing Frankly Built, but we're not going to be releasing those interviews. We just want you guys to know what we're going to be doing. We're probably going to be streaming those interviews live though. We're still going to be streaming those live to the Patreon and the YouTube membership, which is as good a time as any to plug our YouTube memberships and our Patreon. So if you guys want early access to those interviews that are most likely going to be being released while I'm in China, because I'm going to be gone for 5 weeks. So we're interviewing Frankly Built next week, Chris Barnett the week after that.
Wait, are they not going on YouTube?
They're gonna go on YouTube eventually. Like once I'm gone.
Oh,
so we're gonna do an hour-long interview, and then those are gonna be our episodes while we're gone.
Sorry, I just wasn't listening.
Yeah. I'm used to it. And so Frankly Bit will be next week. Chris Barnett will be the week after that. Stephen He will be the week after that.
Really? Are they lined up? You got them lined up?
Yeah, and then we have to do one more interview after that, and that should have us pretty much covered for the entirety of China.
Sweet.
So if you wanted to get Brandy on the show, then we could get Brandy on the show.
Yeah.
She loves anime.
I'll find someone.
We'll find somebody.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out. I mean, I could probably get some voice actors or something.
For sure.
We could, I don't know, reach out to, Gray.
Gray Griffin?
Yeah.
We could. Yeah. Depending on if she's, around LA, maybe I will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll go through Michaela.
Yeah.
I got hammered with Michaela a week ago, so 4
saw
days ago, yeah. She was leaving a party as I was going in. It's 11:30. We're gonna do a little story time here. It was 11. You got enough anime content. Fuck you. We barely did a cold opening. She was leaving a party that I was heading into. And she was like, I'm going to spend New Year's with my mom. I'm fucking blitzed. I'm hammered. And I'm like, I don't know that lady.
Already as you go into this party.
Oh, absolutely. It was 11 o'clock already. I've been drinking since 6. And so I was like, I know that lady. So I just scooped her up. I picked her up and I carried her back into the party. I was like, sorry, I'm here. You're hanging out with me.
That's so funny.
And she was like, she hung out with us for 20 minutes, took some photos. And she was like, I really need to go. My mom's waiting outside. I was like, you're not going to make it home in time for midnight. She was like, I know. I was going to. And I was like, fuck. I was like, I dragged you back into a party and then you spent midnight with your mom on the way back to Simi Valley. So, shout out to Michaela, though. Love that lady. Anyways, you want to talk about anime resolutions since we're doing New Year's shit?
Oh, yeah. Shawl thing.
Shawl. All right, should I go first?
Sure.
Because you're probably going to have some copies as mine.
Yeah.
So this year, also, since me and Danny wanted to reflect on 2023, tell you all of our favorite anime, we also want to look forward to 2024. So me and Danny want to tell you guys what our anime resolutions are for 2024. Because, I mean, we're both Star Worlds of the community already. We're both in shape. We both eat good.
Yeah.
We're not getting surgery or anything. We don't need actual resolutions.
Yeah, I don't need any health benefits.
Yeah, we're both crushing it already.
Yeah.
My mental health is great. You can go upstairs. We're all fucking crushing it. So anime resolutions are what we're focusing on. So this year, in 2024, I want to finally catch up with the One Piece anime.
Yeah.
That's what I want to. I'm at 860. I'm like,
Oh, easy peasy. You're on track.
I'm like 230 episodes behind the anime, which is, that's
It's not a lot, but how long's it taken for you to get this far?
I got a long 2 years probably.
Oh,
I'm watching about 6 to 8 episodes a week right now.
Jesus.
Well, I barely have time. I think I'm gonna up those numbers.
Yeah.
But if I keep 6 to 8 episodes a week, that's like
what's the math?
That's like 35 weeks. So I should be caught up.
Most of the year.
I'm not listening. Wano, I think I'm gonna switch to One Pace for Wano. So fortunately it'll go faster. Because I've heard Wano's pacing is legendarily bad.
Yeah.
Outside of that, I also want to catch up on Sakamoto Days. I started Sakamoto Days. I can catch up with a manga in a week. Like I can read 400 chapters of a manga in a fucking week if I just like apply myself to it.
Here's the thing too, honestly, 6 to 8 episodes of One Piece a week.
Yep.
Not that many.
No.
If you do 2 episodes a day, that's 14 a week.
I do 3 episodes 3 to 4 times a week.
You could, bring that to...
I do 2.5 episodes 3 to 4 times a week.
Gotcha.
I only watch One Piece nowadays while I'm doing cardio because I have to react to it. Right. And I hate fucking being like, oh, I'm benching. Oh, something happened, like hype happened. I have to put my weights down and like film like a reaction. It's a pain in the ass.
Right.
So I also want to catch up with Sakamoto Days before the anime comes out because the anime's coming out, I think, this year. It's going to be the biggest anime outside of Soul Leveling in JJK. I genuinely believe that it's one of the most beloved mangas on Earth right now.
That's the one with the old man, right?
Sort of. He's like a retired assassin.
Yeah.
I also want to catch up on Dawn before the anime comes out, and I think the anime is coming out in October. So I have 2 big manga I have to finish in their entirety, but I also have a flight to China and then a flight to Europe and then a flight back from Europe. So I can crush 200 chapters on a 12-hour flight. And then I also want to host a panel at a con.
Yeah.
Those are my 4.
That's cheating.
Why?
You're already going to.
Not confirmed yet. I said, hey, I'd love to, and then I never heard from them again.
Wow.
Yeah, so I would like to. So if any of you host cons, if any of you run cons, Steve,
Steve.
One of my anime resolutions for the year is simply to host a panel, just 1, maybe 2 or 4. If it's Comic Palooza.
Yeah, they usually make you run a couple.
I'll do a couple.
Yeah. That's a good one. I like that. You didn't take any of mine. I thought you were taking mine.
Love that for me.
I was ready to fucking lunge across this table.
I want to finish Bungo Stray Dogs Beast. I want more.
Beast is sick.
I want more ladies to follow me. That actually might be a resolution.
You think these are my resolutions? More women to follow me?
Maybe. Who knows? Yeah. They love you.
Yeah, my resolution is get more of your followers.
Do it. We'll do a tradesies.
But I want them to stop following you to follow me.
I'll split 80K down the middle.
Okay, got it. My anime resolution, watch Ranking of Kings.
Season 2.
Any of it.
Any of it?
I got 3 episodes in, loved it, stopped truly for no reason.
It's wild. It's so goddamn good.
It was incredible. The first 3 episodes. It was one of those things when I get too excited about something, I start to pace. I pause it, I get out of my chair, and then I pace. And the only reason I don't do that much anymore is because
I've lost all feeling and excitement for the world.
Exactly. Yes. It's because now instead I just get erect.
I live in Footloose. I live in the Footloose world before we learn to dance.
Yeah. The reason it doesn't happen now is because usually things I get excited about are things I'm reacting to. Mm-hmm. So I just do the reaction, and that gets the energy out.
Gotcha.
When I'm watching something,
this is adorable, by the way.
When I'm watching something that's really, really good, I pause it, I get up, and I just think about it.
You're you watch good anime the same way you react to good anime.
Yeah.
You're I gotta take this 6 seconds at a time.
Yeah, exactly. So that it was taking me too long to get through Ranking of Kings. Mm-hmm. And I loved it. My second resolution is to watch High Card.
Love that.
Watch the first episode of High Card as a bit. Talked about it on this podcast. Kept talking about it as a bit.
Yep.
Season 2 comes out this month. I did love the first episode.
Season 2 comes out in 3 days then.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I think literally the 6th. There's a couple of shows.
There's so many anime dropping on Insurrection Day. It's huge.
Yeah.
It's absolutely massive.
Solo leveling.
Solo leveling.
That's our next one.
Delicious in Dungeon already dropped.
Fuck.
Yeah, fuck it.
Fuck.
We
didn't watch Delicious in Dungeon.
We did not watch I think all of it dropped because of the Netflix thing. So Figure it out.
I have no idea what that is.
It's literally, the special skill cooking in another world thing.
Yeah.
It's basically that, but in a dungeon this time.
Right. Yeah. Gotcha. Good.
That is literally the only other anime this season, unless you want to watch
High Card.
And if you want, we could watch High Card.
Let's do High Card.
If you want to watch season 3 of Assassination Classroom, or I genuinely
Classroom of the Elite.
Oh yeah, Classroom of the
Elite. Yeah, don't go telling people there's a third season.
Honestly, yeah, it's like, and he's back.
Yeah,
he's gonna explode the second moon.
It's like, whoopsie.
Yeah, he didn't stab me hard enough this time. No, so let's look ahead actually real quick. You finish up your thingies,
well,
and I'll look
I was gonna say, as like to convince you to maybe start watching High Card. It seems like Japan is gearing up for High Card to kind of be huge. There's a manga coming out for it because it's not based on a manga. Yeah, it's anime only.
Oh shit.
It's a manga coming out for it and light novels coming out for it.
Oh shit.
So like, I think Japan is like, this season has something.
Yeah.
Also, the fact that it has a second season is kind of big. But so yeah, High Card. I genuinely like the idea of it. It's about like all of these people have like playing card themed and gambling themed powers.
Yeah.
There's like 52 magical cards that like Dragon Balls went like spilled out of this briefcase and like went into people and gave them powers. So I want to watch that. That's a resolution. My other one is get really good at a fighting game.
Okay.
Just any of them.
Hunter fighting game might be your opportunity.
That would be awesome.
We get new news about it January 6th, so.
Oh, that's hype. Insurrection Day, baby.
Oh, big. It's a big. Everybody's celebrating this year, man.
Oh, that's exciting. I hope we get a trailer.
For the
Hunter x Hunter.
For the fighting game?
Yeah. That'd be sweet.
Who knows? I just want the manga to come back at this point.
And then I have read a chapter a day of manga, which I won't be doing.
Yeah, no, that one's already hosed.
Yeah.
Dorothy's New Year resolution is to actually start reading. And so she started reading like 10 minutes before we go to bed, which is like, I feel like not enough. Like, I feel like you like read like an hour before you go to bed or something. And so I'm like, oh, well, if you're going to read, what am I supposed to do? Because she's like, she needs absolute silence to read. Like, I like turned to my phone and I was like, set a reminder for tomorrow. Fuck, I still haven't done it. To like make some edits to a video.
Yeah.
And she was like, what are you doing? And I was like, setting a reminder. She was like, type it in. I was like, why? She's like, I can't read with any outside noise. Like it needs to be complete silence. Otherwise her ADHD brain will be like, oh, there's other things going on. So I'm just going to start reading manga while she reads it.
I was going to say, you could start reading.
I'm rereading Solo Leveling.
Is she against you coming into bed after she's asleep?
Oh, she goes to bed after me, if anything.
Gotcha.
I'm a sleepy boy.
Well, because you were like, what am I supposed to do? And it's like, I don't know, fuck off. Go do something.
Yeah, go somewhere. Yeah, no. So she wants to be up till like 2 a.m. I'm like,
Gotcha.
we're going to bed at 11.
Yeah.
No, I'm just going to read manga. I'm rereading Solo Leveling right now. All right, I'm going to give you the run through of basically what we're looking at in winter 2024.
Okay.
There is a new season of Blue Exorcist, which people have been yelling at us to watch for a while now. Yeah. There is what is that? I don't know. Everything's in Japanese, which is kind of a
fuck. I was gonna do a bit where I thought you were gonna rattle some off like machine gun style. And I was just gonna be like, lame, snooze, bad.
Bore.
But now I just sound like an asshole against a Blue Exorcist community.
Yeah, exactly. So Undead Unlock Core 2,
okay.
Ragna Crimson, which actually looks kind of lit, but I think it might be
Ragna Crimson?
Ragna Crimson.
Don't just fucking mash words together.
Dude, it's an action fantasy anime.
Speaking of which, Mashal
gets season 2. And then there's this one that everyone's really stoked on. Like it's for some reason people are really looking forward to it. It's the second season of Tsuki ga Michibuku Isekai, but it's just a fucking isekai. Shangri-La Frontier is continuing. You won't believe this. One Piece is still running. Then there's
Ragna Crimson is like out. It's like a thing already.
I think it might be season 2 or something like that.
This looks sick.
It does look sick,
This
right?
looks really cool. Is this good? Someone tell us if Magna Crimson is good.
Ragna. Has anybody seen Ragna Crimson? Because if it's good, me and Danny will watch it. It's an action fantasy.
It's like a fucking witch one.
It's a witch one?
Yeah, there's witches.
Oh, there is witches.
Knights. It looks really cool. It's got like not great like IMDb ratings. It's got 4.7 out of 5 on High Dive.
Oh, it's on fucking High Dive?
I know. It's also on Amazon Prime, thank God.
Okay, I have High Dive though, so I don't even know why I was complaining.
I won't be using High Dive regardless. What was I gonna say? There's one coming out. Fuck, I just bought the manga.
And then Classroom of the Elite season 3, and then also Furin is also still running. Furin, and then obviously Solo Leveling is going to be our JJK for this upcoming winter season.
I'll be honest. Fucking Undead Unluck is the anime that refuses to end. I'm so sick of having.
I don't really enjoy watching it right now. It's fine. It's good.
So fine.
I enjoy it. It's not an anime I feel as though we need to talk about.
Yeah.
I feel like I enjoy it. Like I'm going to talk about it on my other pages and all of that. But like even I have very little passion for it.
Yeah. Which sucks because I'm so excited for it. The Witch and the Beast is also coming out. And
Tite Kubo's new story.
Is that Tite Kubo?
No, the Bleach mangaka.
Wow. The witch, whatever.
The witch must die. The witch.
The witch will burn the witch.
Burn the
witch.
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Fucking The Witch and the Beast.
Witch and the Beast.
Or The Beast and the Witch. But I bought the.
Was this the one that you like bought the volume to and then it like ended like 3 volumes in and you got really sad?
No, that's The Night and the Witch Must Die or Will Survive.
Gotcha.
That one I'm upset about.
There's also Hokkaido Girls are very cute, where it's literally just a female version of Boruto, but like with massive jugs.
Nice.
I think it's a comedy romantic subtext anime from Silverlink. So there's that as well.
Yeah.
So if you want to watch romance animes about how cute Hokkaido Girls are, then boy oh boy, do we have that one for you. But I'd say winter 2024. We're obviously like me and Danny usually listen to you guys because it's like it'll be like 5 weeks into the season. You guys will be like, oh, you haven't seen fucking Chiyomaho no Machigata Tsukikata Sengo no Kakeru Kafaku Yuen? And we'll be like, no, we actually haven't seen that one yet. But if you guys think it's good, we'll go ahead and watch it. But for me, what I'm slating for winter 2024, maybe catch up with Blue Exorcist because everyone's always yelling at me to watch it. And then watch the new season. And then probably I'll keep watching Undead Unluck, but we probably won't talk about it all that much. Ooh, the fucking Apothecary Diaries is continuing.
Apothecary.
But I'm probably just going to watch
No, it's not Apothecary. What is it?
Apothecary.
Is that right? Apothecary. It sounds wrong now.
Apothecary. No, I'm saying it right.
Okay, all right.
Apothecary. So I'm probably gonna watch Ragnar Krisman because that looks fucking sick.
I know.
And then I'm gonna watch Soul Leveling, and then maybe I'll catch up with Classroom of the Elites because I have seen all the way through halfway through season 2, I think.
Yeah. I need to know if Ragnar Crimson is like worth me watching like right now.
Kind of cool.
Looks kind of cool.
Listen, they say don't judge an anime by its cover, but I like to look at that cover. All right, should we do Best Boy?
Yes.
Oh no, let's do Flashback first.
I have no news.
You have no news? I have news.
Do you?
Miyazaki's next film.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a sequel to Nausicaa of the Valley of the Wind.
No way.
Yeah.
No way.
They're finishing the story, baby.
Hold on.
They're finishing the story.
Hold on.
I did write that news down a week ago, and I did get it from a TikTok, so it might not be real. But as it currently stands, my flashback is that Miyazaki's next film is going to be fucking finally finishing Nausicaa of the Valley of the Wind.
Simply no confirmation.
No news about that?
You didn't even look it up?
Baby, I'm here to peddle 2 things. Bad takes and fake news.
Hayao Miyazaki, let me see. Next movie.
Listen, I fully acknowledge the fact that it might be fake news, but this is what I heard. No, because if you look up new movie, it's just The Boy and the Heron.
I'll just look up Hayao It'd be all over. It'd be all over the news. This isn't true.
I'm looking up Nausicaa sequel. Nausicaa sequel.
Why would you Why would you do this live?
December 23rd, 2023. Hayao Miyazaki's next film might be a sequel to 1984's Nausicaa.
Okay, well, it might also be a sequel to Ponyo, for all we know.
I would love bring back Willem Dafoe.
No.
I want Ponyo 2.0, but he goes to the Iraq War.
So you have no news.
I apparently also have no news because this is early in the fall. This is Wonderfully Strange. The Boy and the Heron was premiering. We learned that Hayao Miyazaki was not retiring. Is fucking blah 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 blah. Yeah, so it might happen. Hey, listen, I'm reporting on possibilities.
Yeah, okay.
Listen, there's speculation.
Yeah.
Going about.
That's
okay, news.
Good.
That's newsworthy.
Yeah, there are rumors.
At least I'm not passing it off like it's actual news.
You were.
I fully prefaced it.
Yeah.
I said this may not be real. You want to hear my best boy?
What's your best boy?
Shang.
Yeah, from Link
For just constantly, literally just putting his life on the line and his mental health on the line for a couple of buckaroos.
Yeah, I think, go on.
I think he's the main character of that story. I get that like both him and Lou are supposed to be the main character of the story, but like
It's like for sure him.
Chang's the main character of that story, and I love him.
Lou just sits on a couch and like yaps at him.
And he's just like, oh, dude, don't get off the timeline. He's like, I'm literally in an earthquake.
I'm in this man's ass right now.
Yeah. I'm being groped, please.
Yeah. I have a similar best boy, and my best girl is like Madoka. Just like we talked about these shows to death.
Hamura's the best girl.
Yeah.
Hamura's best girl in Madoka Magic. Are you kidding me? Madoka just like keeps getting like her timeline reset, and then she's like, "Oh, magic, yay!"
It's
every
Madoka.
single time.
It's Madoka.
It's not Madoka.
She's so good. I'll also settle for the Fangs girl. Pink hair. Like
Madoka's best friend.
Like no, that's Sayaka. She's got blue hair.
Oh yeah.
Pink, long hair. Kind of had it in with Sayaka for a bit.
God. Oh, I know who you're talking about. Yeah.
She has little sharp teeth. Mm-hmm. She's also good. Sayaka, absolutely not best girl, but tragic girl for sure.
Oh, so incredibly fucking tragic, dude. Absolutely. But come on. Hamura resets the timeline like a gajillion times just to save Madoka.
Madoka decides to become God. Mm-hmm. That's good girl material.
It's great girl material, but you couldn't have been put in that situation unless Hamura literally fought against Walpurgisnacht like 4,000 times.
I suppose so. I guess her just summoning a trillion grenade launchers does propel you into best girl material.
Generally iconic shit. Yeah. All right, that brings us to our favorite part of the show, and that is Love Letters, where me and Danny poll our live audience, of which there are 58 of you hanging out currently, watching me and Danny make a podcast, or at least struggle through one. So if you guys want to ever ask us a question, go ahead and become a Patreon member or a YouTube member so you can watch the podcast live and also get access to 2 additional hours of content every single week. And while we did just recently release one of those hours of content for the general to enjoy, everybody from the Patreon said that was cool. So that's why we did it. And we didn't have anything to post because Danny decided to abandon me. So if you ever wanted to ask me and Danny a question and have it answered on the podcast, then you should become either Team Nick or Team Danny for either $4.99 or $5.99 a month on either Patreon or YouTube membership and get access to me and Danny live. All right, Daniel, do we have any questions? In honor of JJK coming to an end, Blackstar asks, if you could have one curse technique from JJK, what would it be?
I feel like it's definitely Megumi's, right?
10 shadows?
Yeah, the 10 shadows. You gotta do this. You gotta do shadow puppets.
Okay.
And no one can tell you it's not cool anymore.
Okay, fair, but what are you gonna do with...
You're always like, how are you gonna impress a girl at a party with Gara Sand Coffin? Okay. I'm not trying to impress anybody.
Well, if there's another man hitting on her, you can impress her by making him disappear.
You can definitely press in on her with Sand Coffin.
Absolutely,
I'll tell you that.
You'll impress her.
Yeah, but I'm not trying to fucking wow anybody at my next shareholder meeting or whatever.
But the thing is,
I want to summon a dog.
You have a dog.
But like a dog, I don't have to walk, and a dog that is only there when I want it to be there.
Yeah, it fucks off whenever you're like, damn, I could do a dog right now, and it's like, oh, look. Instead of like, oh, my dog just pissed on the couch. All right, cool.
You gotta
go back to the shadow dimension, puppy. Yeah.
You gotta summon a bunch of different animals. They're good in a fight.
An elephant.
Are impressive.
A giant deer that heals you.
Lots of rabbits.
Mm-hmm. Lots of rabbits.
Very impressive stuff, Nick.
Well, for like a magician, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll be a magician.
If I had to choose one curse technique to take, and I genuinely am surprised you didn't take this, curse speech. Imagine just having the ability to be like, shit your pants. Like, somebody just poops themselves. That's hilarious.
Bad technique.
That's so...
For how much we both yap?
Yeah. Oh.
You can't say shit.
Oh.
Ready? Just that sentence? Now you can't talk anymore.
I forgot about that aspect of curse speech.
That it sucks?
I forgot about that.
You forgot the fact that every curse technique sucks except for Megumi's?
Oh, God, I forgot that you couldn't talk. Because I was like, to have the ability to just be like, if somebody like swerved in front of you and you just like rolled down your window and you're like, veer into oncoming traffic. That'd be fantastic. Oh, that'd be so good. All right, fine. Then my actual answer is blue. Gojo's blue. It allows him
sucking shit.
Do that, but it also allows him to teleport. So like he can create negative pockets of space that allow him to like move his body across like massive spaces of distance, and to teleport would be so nice.
Teleporting's good. That one's like a fun power. Yeah. Everything else is like, what am I gonna take Panda's 4 hearts? Am I gonna be a robot man who bones are broken all day?
Being able to fly on a broom would be kind of cool.
No, it wouldn't.
Kind of.
If I had the
Imagine
ability,
just like, oh, hey, by 5 p.m. traffic, you could be home in 15 minutes on a fucking broom.
I would rather never fly a day in my life than have to fly on a broom. That's too great of a nerf.
That is like genuinely terrifying. I'd like tie like a couple brooms together. You know, I make like a raft out of brooms.
Yeah.
You know, like I just like it's like something I could like really sit down on.
It's just too embarrassing. If I'm showing up to work on a broom, like you better believe I'm coming back to that broom. Like also, what do you put a bike chain on it?
On the broom?
Someone's taking that broom.
Just bring it with you. It's 2 pounds.
People are gonna be like, hey, why don't you just sweep up the bathroom, bitch?
And then you fucking fly through them. Like what? Like, hey man, did you drive here? Yeah, have fun getting back on the 405. I'm gonna fly home.
They all suck. Every power sucks. Gojo's is the only one that doesn't suck just because you can just not use it.
Toto's would be kind of fun.
How?
Boogie Woogie?
Oh, that you're right. I thought you meant
fun.
I thought you meant ghetto for some reason. That I want that one.
Ghetto just doesn't even apply to the real world.
Yeah, exactly.
Boogie Woogie would be kind of fun.
That's probably
imagine
the
like
best.
Boogie Woogie, you just like with random people and just
Yeah.
like confuse the shit out of them and then run away.
Imagine like it just wins every argument. It's just like, no, actually, God of War and Ragnarok was cool. Now you're here. It's like,
They're just like, yeah, it's like
I wasn't ready.
It's like put a pencil on your seat and then clap. Just,
Yeah.
ow. Yeah, no, there's a lot of good opportunities for that. The only other really good one would be like mojitos, maybe. I don't know.
It isn't.
You get some. You
gotta turn people into zucchinis.
You make people into a sword. Yeah, I don't know. It would be convenient in like war applications.
I guess.
Yeah.
He can never touch a person.
It'd be well, I know he can. He can touch people.
No.
He has to activate his technique. It's just touch people is an activation, like to activate his technique, he has to touch people.
I see.
But he can still touch people.
I guess
Fuck,
so.
I want to curse speech.
It sucks.
Curse speech
it's
is
bad.
But it's so good, like without the whole like I have to say salmon roe for the rest of my life, you know?
But that's the power.
Does it apply to all languages? Like, what if I just speak in Spanish?
It's gotta apply to all languages.
Binding vow. Be like, hey, it only works in Japanese or English. That you make a binding vow saying my curse speech only works when I speak Japanese and I don't fucking know Japanese. That would make it more powerful.
You can't be like, I want this power if this guy also has this power.
Yeah.
No.
No, come on. The guy, you should be able to make a. No, you're right. God damn it. I thought I had that one in the bag,
Megumi's
too.
is the only good one.
That is good. I would love Demon Dogs and Round Deer and Max Elephant. All right. Well, that's all we got, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for checking in with us this week. We have been Otakus Anonymous. I have been Nicholas Connor, also known as the Weeb Commander, also known as AnsiHammer23. We just created a bunch of new merch.
Yes. He says.
You?
I've created a bunch of new merch. It's on the website. You'll see a bunch of shirts that all look the same. They're not. The design's on the back.
Yes.
So every shirt that I've made, also read the descriptions. They're very funny. I put a lot of work into them.
Good job. We're all proud of you.
Every shirt where a big design's on the front, there's also a version of that on the back because Nick doesn't like front design shirts. You fucking hypocrite.
I've actually kind of come around on them.
They're better.
This shirt has actually kind of made me come around on them. But it's got to look good. It's got to be like a cool...
Unlike our shirts.
Our shirts are obviously super fucking dope. I'm just saying, like, I don't want, like Bart Simpson with, like weed eyes, you know? Like, I don't want Goku in a Supreme jacket.
Nobody... Here's the problem with that, though. If you're wearing a Bart Simpson with weed eyes design on your back... You're going to forget you're wearing that. And people are going to be like, what the fuck are you wearing? Like, people are going to not be talking to you. And you're going to be like, what'd I do? What'd I do wrong? Why does no one like me right now?
Listen, if I can keep people away from my back, that's best case scenario. Bart is literally watching my back.
Yeah, I guess so. Anyway, we got a lot of designs on the website. They're like fucking awesome. I love them. They're from Nick's design person, Cat something.
Yes.
Check them out on otakusanonymous.com.
.net.
.net,
Yeah.
baby.
I do that plug every single day.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you guys so much. We love you. Bye.
Woo.